Welcome back to the YouTube Lives. Give me just a minute and we will get started. I just need to get set up here. Oh, nope, it's not what I want to do. Right. I do have a couple of announcements and then we will get into questions in just a second. You don't know. As soon as my screen loads. Sorry. But I do have a jumbo announcement, so that's cool. There we go. All right. So again, thank you everybody for showing up. I appreciate it. We usually do lives every Sunday and Monday. I had to cancel last week for personal stuff, but I am back. We will be back. We're back tonight, and then we'll also be back tomorrow at 8, which I will get to in just a second. But we do lives every Sunday. And I do have a couple of announcements before we begin, and the first one is a jumbo one. I do have a specific date that all jumbo eggs will be back on the website. That is Jumbo Wilds, Jumbo Whites, Jumbo White Wings, Jumbo Egyptians, Jumbo Sexlinks, Jumbo Mix. All jumbos will be back on the website April 1st. So I'm very excited about that. I actually am shipping out my last jumbo order tomorrow, and then I'll be putting in a week worth for us, all jumbos. So I'm pretty excited about that. The next is I'm going to be very, very busy this week, like more than usual, and I will be strictly in the barn for 90% of the time. I've got 700 jumbo wilds, 200 jumbo whites, and I think 120 of the Egyptians and 120 of the white wings that I have to sex out this week, and they are ready to go into the breeding program. So that is going to take a lot of my time. Plus I'll be doing it alone this week because George is working on something else. So if you need to get a hold of me, you're more than welcome to. It might be a little delayed, but if you can wait, if you could ask your questions tonight or tomorrow at 8 p.m. when we go live, I would appreciate that because it's going to be a long week. And I'm getting bees this week. So the bee guy supply will be here Wednesday. It's supposed to be the only nice day out. So he'll be here. We'll do a couple videos while he's here. We will get the bees situated. So I'm very excited about that. We also have a video that I'll be doing Tuesday night at 8, I do believe. I won't post it then, but we're going to do it then. But I've got a special guest coming by and, or not coming, well, I've got a special guest that's going to be with me. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's coming this week. I've already done the video for handling problem customers or angry customers. I've actually got 2 different versions. The first one Jenna did not like, so I redid it today. So she has not seen that one yet. So I think she'll like that one. If not, I'll redo it. But that will be posted this week. And a lot of videos are going to be in the works this week. They won't be posted, but we're going to do a how we ship, and then we're going to do red light versus regular light as far as the brooders go. I think that'll be kind of interesting. We're going to do an experiment in that. We're going to do a week by week growth. It'll be one video. So that starts on Friday. The days of incubation, that video will start on Friday. I think that will be pretty good as well. We're going to do the balut process. I don't think I'll be able to put in balutes this week, but I have to put them in next week. We've been pushing them back for too long anyway. So I'm going to do a video on that whole process, and then we're going to do a brooding quail best practices, and that video will be actually posted next week. So we've got a lot of really good videos coming your way. And I'm still waiting on Duke University to do the next genetics video. I still need to do the Rue video, which is not on my to-do list. It is now. And so Sundays we go live, right? Every Sunday at 7 p.m. If you have questions, feel free to ask. We will do our best to help you on your journey with Coturnix quail. If you have any questions about raising quail or quail con or running a business with quail for profit, whatever the case may be, ask your questions. That's what we're here for. But tonight is more of a community setting. So we typically go about 2.5 hours, sometimes 3. I read all the comments and questions, and we have a good time. There's a couple things that we do every Sunday that's a lot of fun if you're new, and that is if you want to let us know where you're from. It's always interesting to see where all the people are at in the quail world. If you've hatched eggs from us this week and you have not given me the hatch rate, feel free to do so on here as well. I'll write that down for our records. We are getting much better results. I'm very excited about that. And then if you can't stay that long to get your questions answered, or you've got other plans, whatever the case may be, Mondays at 8 p.m. we do a rapid fire Q&A. I only read the questions, and we go as quickly as possible to get as many questions in as possible. So that might be better for you as well, but we would love for you to be a part of the community. That is all my announcements. I have bored you enough. I'm going to put this away, and we will get started as soon as I take a drink. Nope, I lied. 2 more things. 1, if you could support the channel by just hitting the like button, I would greatly appreciate it. We are growing exponentially. We're over 31,000 subscribers. I don't even know when that happened. I went on vacation. Not vacation. I went on a weekend getaway, came back, and I was like, what, where, when? Wow, okay. So that is super awesome. Thank you everybody that watches. Thank you everybody that subscribes and shares the videos and gets the word out. I really appreciate you all. I think that's super cool. So if you could hit the like button and help grow the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. Our goal tonight is going to be for 200 likes. So hopefully you can do that for us. And if you do want to donate, you can. There's a $ at the bottom where the chat area is, and any donations go straight to QuailCon, which we are going to try to have the best event for everybody that's going to be here. And I've got a lot of stuff planned for everybody, so I'm really excited about that. Now I'm done boring you. Let's get into it, shall we? Vasil, I hope I said that correctly, says the jumbo wild that I got from you hatched February 8th. March 27th, okay. They started laying a week ago. Thanks, that's awesome. Congratulations. You are now off to the races, as you say, so that's awesome. Congratulations. And good luck. Jeff is in the house from Morrill, Ohio. Can you tell me what the approximate wait time for your feather Sexible mixed eggs are right now? I think we're 28. So Wednesday, 3 weeks. Yeah, about 3 weeks. Maybe a little, no. About 3 weeks is our wait time on pretty much all eggs right now. So there you go. Verna Young is in the house. Obviously, Verna Young and Ed Got Bait Huff are blue with the little wrench. They are my admins or moderators on our YouTube channel. They do a great job responding and helping before I can get to the questions. They help a lot behind the scenes as well. So thank you very much for all of that. Jay is in the house. Welcome. Jason's in the house from Pennsylvania. Welcome. Glad you're here. Robert Davis is in the house from Maine. Welcome. Also, Verna, I did not text you back. I forgot. Madison just got home a little bit ago, but she is very excited about her present. So thank you very much. I meant for her to text you, and then we sat down and ate, and then I looked at the time, and it was 6:57, and I said, I gotta go. So, Jay Verson 81's in the house. Hello, everyone from Sacramento, California. Welcome. Glad you're here. Veronica's in the house from upstate New York. Welcome. Jay's in the house from Southeast Ontario, Canada. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Super cool. Joy's in the house from Western Oregon. Welcome. Time and Timber Homestead is in the house. Hello, Quail fam and friends joining in from Southwest Missouri with quail in the Instant Pot, eggs in the incubator, chicks in the brooder, and broody quail hens in the aviary. LOL. Excited for tonight's live. You've got a lot of stuff going on. That's awesome. Congratulations. Flew the Coop Farms is in the house from Urick, Missouri, which reminds me, there's a lot of you that are on here, I don't want to say a lot. Most of the people that are donating to the 18 Under contest are already on here. Not everybody, but next Sunday, I do believe, is the first Sunday of the month. Oh, it might not. Yeah, it's got to be. So next Sunday is the first Sunday of the month, and we'll be announcing our next 18 and Under contest winner. So I'm very excited about that as well. Absolutely. Ed says, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Absolutely. Thank you very much. The Blazing Bees in the house from Lafayette, Louisiana. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Jeff Martin's in the house from Nebraska. Welcome. Joy is in the house. Said, I ended up with 11 hatched, 2 due, so I have 9 healthy. 2 did not make it, maybe. So I have 9 healthy chicks. That's not too bad. I don't know if you ordered from us or how many you... I don't know if they were yours or... I don't know. But we only, our minimum is 25. So if you did order from us, you need to get in contact with us, because that is not a 50% hatch rate. We need to make sure you get taken care of. But if they were yours and you put in like 15 or 20, that's not too bad at all. So congratulations if that's the case. Charlene White is in the house from Texas. Welcome. Gary is in the house from Nebraska. Tim is in the house from Michigan. Welcome. Let's see. Flew the Coop Farms is in the house. Keith is in the house. Hello, everyone. I am Keith from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Richie is in the house. Good evening from Avon, New York. On Fox Watch night, they have been stealing my chickens. Well, at least the quail are secure. I hate to hear that. We had a fox issue last year, actually, until I was lucky enough to get rid of that issue. So I feel your pain. We just got a donation from Dale's Quails. Bring on the month's essays. Let's go. Let's get as many kids on board as possible. Absolutely. Thank you very much for the donation. Andrea Perry's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Keith says, I'm going to learn to raise quail for egg and meat. Absolutely. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. That is what we're here for. Christy Tanner's in the house. Good evening from Michigan. Hope to find all my quail family happy and healthy tonight. Absolutely. Jesse Mills is in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Brad Hill is in the house from Texas. Welcome. Glad you're here. Veronica says, snowing and cold here in upstate New York. Yeah, it sleeted on Friday night, snowed on Saturday, and it's extremely cold and windy today. But then Wednesday, it's supposed to be like upper 60s and sunny. So who knows? Jeff Martin says, first 2 eggs yesterday, 5 weeks and 4 days. Woohoo, that's awesome. Congratulations. That's super exciting. Now you're well on your way. So congratulations to that. William's in the house from Taylor, Michigan. A lot of Michiganders, I think, is what you told me that you guys are. A lot of Michigan ganders tonight. Welcome, everybody. Let's see. I did not make it last Sunday and Monday. That is true. I was going to try to reschedule and just... I couldn't find the time. So, but we're going to be back on the regular schedule, which is Sundays at 7 and Mondays at 8 with the rapid fire. If you can, hit the like button, support the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Woman of Spirit is in the house. Good evening, beautiful quail people. Absolutely. Bags of Love is in the house. Welcome. Details Snail. I'm going to say Detail Snail is in the house. Welcome. Christy is in the house. Missed you last week, Zach. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Nikki James is in the house. Welcome. Lance is in the house. Welcome. Josh's Punk Rock Garden is in the house from upstate New York. A lot of New Yorkers here tonight as well. I hope everyone is doing well. Absolutely. Sharon's in the house from Florida. Welcome. Christy says, hope you and the wife had a great time for your anniversary, and congrats to you both. Thank you very much. And we did. It was very relaxing, actually. And yeah, we took a hike and just lounged, really. Kathy's in the house. Hello, Aram and Kathy from Louisville, Kentucky in the house. We'll be going into lockdown on the 31st. That's awesome. Congratulations. And I wish you all the best. We got another donation for $20 for all you do for the quail community. Thank you very much, S.O. Swanson. I appreciate that. I have been updating you on how many states we've got. Currently, we've got 29, but everybody that's been purchasing lately has already been to a state, which is awesome. It's exciting. But no new states in the past week or 2 weeks. But a lot of extra tickets sold, so that's good. But I'll keep you posted on that. We do have a QuailCon Facebook page, and S.O. Swanson put up a cool map, and he colors in every time we have a new state. So currently we have 29 states coming, which is pretty exciting. And I've had, I think, 3 or 4 people text me saying that they're coming from different states. They just haven't purchased the tickets yet. So that'll be pretty cool as well. Jasmine says, Jumbos are coming back on April Fool's Day, LOL. I thought it was kind of funny. So I was actually going to move it. I was going to do March 31st. And then I was thinking, oh, no, I'll do, let's do April 3rd to give me a couple extra days. And I was like, it is April Fool's. So anyways, I decided April 1st would be awesome. And they're not coming off the website. I've got a lot of extra quail that just grew up, so I'm gonna hang in there. Debbie at the She Shed Homestead is in the house, donated $5. Thank you very much. That'll go to QuailCon, and pretty excited about that. Thank you very much for your generosity. Terry's in the house from Norfolk, Virginia, getting excited. My order from end of February should be coming soon. End of February, yes. In fact, by Wednesday, we'll actually be up to March 7th, and by Saturday we'll actually be through March 17th, I do believe. So we're getting caught up pretty fast now, so I'm pretty excited about that. In fact, after tomorrow, I'm actually going to cheat a little bit on anyone that's ordered any mixed eggs recently. I'm actually going to use 2 days worth of all my jumbos to get more of those orders out and get caught up that way before I put the jumbos back on in stock as well. Jasmine says, yay for bees. Absolutely. I'm really excited about it. I really wanted to make a stand, but I plan on next year getting another hive anyway. And I just ran out of time. I couldn't find the time to do it. So I actually bought one. Now it's supposed to be here Tuesday. And then the bee guy supply guy called and or he texted and was like, hey, how about Wednesday? And I was like, for what? And they were like, the bees. And I was like, oh dear God. Yes, that'll be fine. So, but it's going to be a nice day out, and it's going to be some good videos and good learning on my end anyway. So that's pretty good. Jeff says, wear your bee costume for the bee guy when he shows up. There's some plans. There's some plans in the works. Donna's in the house. I'm here and there. There you go. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Dennis is in the house from Missouri. Welcome. Glad you're here. Charles V is in the house. April 1 is hatching day for me. Awesome. Congratulations. And we wish you all the best. And good luck. Dwight is in the house from Minnesota. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Detail Snails from Tampa, Florida is in the house. Patricia's in the house from Virginia. Welcome. Glad you're here. I do believe Florida and Virginia are representing. Florida, Virginia, yeah, right next to each other, actually. Yeah, so you both are, both of your states are representing QuailCon. Brad Hill is in the house from Texas and just about to start. That's awesome. Best of luck to you. If you have any questions, that's what we're here for. Feel free to ask. And then remember, Mondays at 8, we do a rapid fire. So I don't read all the comments. It's just questions only. And we get through a lot of questions every Monday. So hopefully we can see you there as well. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Don is in the house from Springboro, Ohio. You are literally my neighbor. You're what, maybe less than 20 minutes away. Welcome. Fire Hose Woman is in the house from Dallas, Fort Worth area. I don't know why I knew that, but I did. No quail here yet. Beware. It's very addicting, but in a good way. So once you get started, it's like Pringles. You just can't stop. You know what I mean? But best of luck to you. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Vasil, I hope, if I'm saying it wrong, please correct me. From Georgia is in the house. Welcome. Sean is in the house from North Carolina. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Debbie at the She Shed Homestead says, hi from Wisconsin. Sounds like a lot of good stuff. Looking forward to the videos. Yeah, I'm getting somewhere, so that's exciting. Lance is in the house. Hatched 43 out of my 48 jumbo wilds that went into lockdown. this past week. That's awesome. Congratulations. Let's see, you would have ordered, what is my, yep, this is my list. No, it's not. This is my list. 43 out of 50 is what you would have ordered. That's great. Congratulations. It's very good. We actually got our first 100% hatch this year, so I'm very excited about that. They had ordered 110, and they hatched out 112 because we send 10 extra. So it was a fantastic hatch. It was amazing. And, by the way, first hatch ever in a little giant. But they did extremely well, extremely well. So if you're watching, congratulations. Let's see. But Lance, you did, 43 out of 50 ordered. That's a fantastic hatch rate. So congratulations there as well. Happy Hillbilly's in the house from Kentucky. Hi, y'all. Welcome. Happy Hillbilly actually sent me some stuff this week, and we tried it out. They sent me some canned pickles, and they're the spiciest pickles I've ever had, but they are delicious. Me and my son really like pickles, and so they sent us 2 jars, and one of them is almost gone, and we just opened it yesterday. So they are delicious. So thank you very much for that. That's super cool. Pris K is in the house. Thanks for your channel. Found it yesterday, subscribed, and have been watching some of your videos, older videos. Well, thank you very much. I'm not the best at... This is the way I look at it. I'm not the best at videos, but I try to get you the best information as quickly as possible. But I just don't have it in me to do the fancy stuff. I don't. But I do try to give you some good information. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And thanks for subscribing and watching. And welcome to the community. Susan's in the house. Where is QuailCon held? It is here. Myshire Farm, Miamisburg, Ohio. It'll be September 3rd and 4th. It's going to be a great event. I've got a couple videos. In fact, I started a playlist, and we're going to be continuing to do videos. We got some brand new vendors coming this year that's going to be here. I'm going to do spotlights on them leading up to QuailCon, and there's some fun stuff planned, so I'm pretty excited about it. Little Ridge Farm is in the house. Good evening, y'all. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Timothy Harris is in the house. Hey, Zach, my fertility rate was 69% of 118 eggs, and hatch rate was 88% of 81 that went into lockdown. So 80, no. Oh, dear God. Let's see. I got to do the math. I don't know if I can. That'll take me too long. I can do the math. It's just, you guys are waiting on me, so I won't. So 88% of 81, and you ordered, where'd you go? 118, so you would have ordered 110 eggs. 70-ish? It's not too bad. Congratulations. I'll figure that out and get that on our list as well. Congratulations, though. PJ's Family Farm is in the house. Hello, all you beautiful quail people here from New York. Welcome. We're glad you're here. You'll be coming to QuailCon. Can't wait to actually meet you. We've been talking for over a year, and I'm glad to be able to get to hang out this time. Susan's in the house from Vermont. Welcome. We do not have Vermont yet, so, if you want to come to QuailCon, we'd love for you to come. Christine Spots is in the house. I'm from the Upper Peninsula. What would be the best type for egg and meat producers in extreme cold climate? We have very long, cold, snow-filled winter months. Would heat be necessary? Nope. They are very adaptable to the weather. They do need to be made sure that they can get out of the elements, rain, snow, sleet, wind, this, that, and the other. But the weather, they're very adaptable to. They're pretty much all that way. But to be honest, the heavier the quail, the better they'll do. So I would do some sort of jumbo. Jumbo wilds are going to be the largest. Jumbo sex links would be fine. Actually, any of the jumbos would be fine. Jumbo wilds and jumbo whites are going to be the largest, though. Tyler's in the house tuning in from Texas. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Dale's Quails is obviously in the house. Good evening, everyone. Wisconsin here, who's all ready for spring planting. Not, but Jenna is, so that's a plus. Welcome, we're glad you're here. And Dale's Quails will actually not only be at QuailCon, not only will he be a vendor, but he's actually going to be a speaker this year, talking about how to build your own cages, what to think about, what to do. So I'm very excited about that topic. And last year I barely got to talk to him because I was all over the place. But 2-day event, I've got it planned this year. It's going to be great. Ann's in the house from Warren, Ohio. Welcome. We're glad you're here. I just passed through Warren, Ohio just the other day, actually. Woman of Spirit says, Zach, my eggs hatched, 18 hatched, 4 died right after hatching, other 12 eggs, nothing. I had a terrible experience with my humidity pump flooded the incubator at lockdown. That could do a couple of the other 12 eggs for sure. That actually could be the reason for the 4 dying right after hatch as well. But that's, let's see, 18 is 30. That's still not too bad. You ordered 25, got 18 to hatch. That's not too bad at all, especially with the humidity issue. You fix that, and most likely you'll have probably 22, 23 next time. So great job. Congratulations. Let's see. S.O. Swanson's in the house. Greetings from Mississippi Delta. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Josh's Punk Rock Garden says, my peppers are all popping up from their peat pellets. I'm super psyched for spring. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about spring because I've got so many projects. But I'm overwhelmed, but excited at the same time. Let's see. I saw my first egg from the Celadons, which is exciting. That's awesome. Congratulations, Josh, and wish you all the best. Crystal Curtis says, hello from Michigan, another Michigan. Loving my quail, Zach, but they're just like my grandkids, growing like weeds. I hear that. That's usually a good sign, though. That's usually a good sign as far as the quail go. Kind of want the grandkids to stay small. But congratulations and best of luck. Nabiki's in the house. Mary Quail from the San Francisco Bay Area for now. Absolutely. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Nina from Huber Heights, not too far away at all. In fact, I used to live in Huber Heights for a short time. The jumbo wilds that will be available on the 1st, will those be chicks, start groups, or hatching eggs? Sorry, I missed that part. Yeah, so jumbo, that's a great point, and I'll mention that now. All jumbos are hatching eggs only, ever. We don't sell jumbos in live birds, and we don't ship chicks. We only ship them once they're off the heat lamp, which is 3 to 4 weeks old. Live quail will be about 6 to 8 weeks out. And then we've actually set up a separate cage. I'm going to use those eggs to get orders out, to get caught up so people aren't waiting so long. But once we're caught up, that cage is strictly going to go in every week and and just be for live quail sales. But with jumbos, we do not ship live quail, only in mixed. Not saying that you can't get some jumbos, but because we ship them at 3 to 4 weeks old, it actually stunts their growth just a little. And so for best results, it's better to get eggs where you can hatch them out, or fully grown, but we don't keep them that long. So I kind of felt like it wasn't really benefiting people selling the jumbo lives. And I thought that they would get better results with the eggs. And so yeah, we only sell jumbos in hatching eggs. And then when we do start selling live quail again, it'll be mixed colors. But we've got breeder sets and all female sets and all that. The chicks were mine. That was after the... Oh, okay. I hear what you're saying. Well, then that's great. That's wonderful. Congratulations. You did pretty well then, because we were thinking, I don't know. But you hung in there, didn't you? Congratulations. That's great, Joy. Christy says, we have 162 eggs in our incubator. Our last hatch was great. We only lost 1 chick. That's awesome. Congratulations. I'm actually on my to-do list. Oh, I might have thought about it, but didn't write it down. Let's see. I did not. I did now. I'm actually going to redo our chick troubleshooting video. I'm going to do a video on the top reasons why chicks die in the brooder or in the incubator, and hopefully that'll give you some things to look at and try to experiment with. So that'll be coming as well. But you're doing great, Christy. Congratulations. Mark is in the house. Afternoon, everybody from Tennessee. Welcome. We're glad you're here. 3932L is in the house. 78 out of 130 hatched from y'all. That's great. Congratulations. I will write that down. Let's see, 78 out of 100. Not too bad. Thank you very much for letting me know. James Watkins is in the house from North Carolina. Just hatched 100. Just had 100 to hatch. That's awesome. Congratulations. Best of luck to you. That's a lot of chicks. Fire Horse Woman says, question about incubating eggs. How do you know which ones are fertilized and ready for the incubator? You really don't. I mean, obviously you need, a good ratio. I recommend 5 hens to every 1 male. And then you put them in, and then, there's steps that you can take to see if they're fertilized, but really you just put them in, and then I recommend the minimum of day 12 you can candle for sure, because they're just so small, and a lot of people, it's different than chickens. So I usually recommend it, minimum day 12 you can candle and kind of find out. But yeah, you just want to put them in, and yeah, if you've got the right ratio, then you should be good to go. After 19 days in the incubator, finally had 2 chicks at 9 a.m. this morning, now 60% hatched. How much longer should I leave them in the incubator with the unhatched eggs? So if they're hatching after day 19 and they just started, you already seem like you're getting a good hatch rate, but you've got a temperature issue. Your temperature in your incubator is actually too low, which is why they're hatching out late. So with that being said, you will want to make sure that you fix that going forward. I'd let it be now. But once the hatch is over, you definitely want to calibrate that and get it up to the right temp. If they're hatching on day 19, I would assume you're somewhere around 98 degrees. But that's a telltale sign because they're hatching late. So you'll want, let's see, 9 a.m. So tomorrow morning, you'll take out all the chicks that are dry, move them to the brooder, leave the wet ones or the unhatched eggs in. Since they just started hatching today, then you really need to go at least 3 more days because of the temp issue. And then you'll take the dry ones out every 24 hours. So tomorrow morning you take the dry ones out, and then Tuesday morning you take the dry ones out, Wednesday morning you take the dry ones out, and after that you should be done. It really depends on how low that temp is. A 3-day hatching late, you're probably done after 3 more days. So let's see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So you'll want to call it quits Thursday morning, would be my suggestion. Jess Sabin's in the house. Hello from Colorado. My Myshire Jumbos will be 2 weeks tomorrow, 8 or 25 hatch, lost 1. The 7 healthy are doing great. Yes, you took care of my low hatch rate. Thank you. Okay, great. Well, I'm glad that they're doing well, and I do remember taking care of it. So thank you very much, and best of luck to you. I wish you all the best. Steven's in the house, 120 quail eggs in my GQF. Can't wait for results 4 days in. That's awesome. Congratulations. And best of luck to you. I love the GQF, so I'm hoping for a really good hatch on those. That's great. Carrie's in the house. I snuck a few quail eggs under my broody silky hen to see if she'll hatch them. Yeah, usually they do pretty well. Silkies and bantams usually do pretty well with quail eggs. Nothing else really. But yeah, silkies and bantams actually do pretty well with that. Muji's in the house from PNW. I don't know where that is. But we're glad to hear anyway. Hope you're all doing well. Current brood is 6 weeks and ordered a batch of pansy fees to add. That's awesome. Congratulations. Pennsylvania Northwest. I'll think about it. Order batch of pansy fees to add. Well, best of luck to you. And if you ordered from us, I will get you out as quickly as possible, I promise. Fire Horse Woman is in the house. And what do you do with the eggs that don't hatch? You can throw them out. I feed them to the pigs. We actually have a reptile owner that buys them, all the unhatched eggs. We've got a couple craft people that buy them that did not hatch and were not fertile. or didn't develop. So if we put everything into lockdown and then take out the chicks, obviously, and then we'll candle then, and the ones that didn't start developing, we actually sell those to craft people, and they blow them out. And they say that blowing out incubated eggs is a lot easier than blowing out unincubated eggs, which I've never tried, so I thought that was kind of interesting. And then the falconer guy usually buys a couple thousand at a time, so we freeze them. And then throughout the year, the pigs get a nice little snack. Andrea says, are you sharing the new colors tonight? I thought you said, oh, son of a gun. You know, I had something in my head that made me feel like I really was forgetting something. Shoot. I did say that. Okay. Where's my to-do list? Okay, so we'll see how long tonight goes. I apologize. I completely forgot. So if it's not too late, then I'd have to get on my... Well, if it's not too late, then I'll take you out there and show you the new colors tonight. If it is a little late, then I wrote myself a note. I will make sure that they're on first thing tomorrow's live at 8 p.m. So if you can't make it, it'll just be the first, and I'll post the video. But I will announce those no later than tomorrow. I completely forgot. I am so sorry. Shoot, I'm sorry. Completely forgot. Thank you for reminding me, though. I did say tonight, though. S.O. Swanson, again, donated $20 to the QuailCon. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Papin Homestead's in the house from Kissimmee, Florida, in the house. Welcome. We've vacationed there a couple different times, actually. Juan Duran's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Sean Alexander's in the house. I watched the candlelight video earlier. Is the green tint normal when candling? The green tint. Yeah. Like, not all the way through, because that means it didn't develop. But yeah, if you're talking about a green tint, whether it's developed or not, then yes, it is normal. Marius Bullion is in the house. Hello, Zach, and all the same bird people all over the world. Absolutely. Welcome. I know that they are in South Africa. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Nick is in the house. Hatched eggs a couple weeks ago. Out of 120 eggs, 114 were fertile, 96 hatched feather Sexible. That is awesome. Thank you very much for letting me know. Okay, this one can go over here. I don't use you for the rest of the night. You are my to-do list for tomorrow. Let's see, 96 out of 110 ordered. That's great. Congratulations. Feather Sexible. Wonderful. Very good, Nick. Congratulations. Verna says, how many tickets left, Zach? I think right now we've sold, I don't know, I'm generalizing it, but I think so far we sold about 120 tickets. We are sold out of the camping tickets. And we've sold, I think, 160 dinners. So there's going to be a lot of kids coming, or a lot of kids under 18 that are coming. So that's pretty exciting. But I think we've sold over 120 tickets already, somewhere around there. Debbie at She Shed Homestead donated $5 to QuailCon. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I do this every night. Every time I do a live, I do it. I don't know why I don't just put it right in front of me, because then my neck starts hurting, my back starts hurting. Every time. Bethany Reed's in the house. Hey, busy week. Just got 98 eggs from you in the incubator. My mother-in-law has 19 of them. Chicken eggs also incubating. We also got turkey chicks. You have got a lot of stuff going on right now. That's awesome. Congratulations. Best of luck to you, and obviously keep me posted on the hatch. Bill Evis is in the house from Tennessee. Thanks for all the good advice. Hoping to place an order soon. Thank you very much. I appreciate your support, and best of luck to you. And hopefully we can help you out as soon as you're ready. Louis Brechin. I hope I said that correctly. If I didn't, feel free to correct me. Is in the house from Louisiana, Albany, Louisiana. Welcome. We're glad to hear. Donna says, I'm hoping to go to QuailCon payday the 3rd. Well, we'd love to have you. Hopefully you can get the tickets and be able to visit us. And we're going to have a good time. We've got a lot of people not only speaking and coming, not only a lot of vendors coming, but we've got a lot of people, like I said, from 29 different states. And we're all going to be able to hang out, learn from each other. I really do think it's going to be amazing. I really do. For some reason, I'm not even stressed about it. Last year, all it was stress. And I'm still stressing out about it. Don't get me wrong. But that's what I do. That's who I am. But I'm much more excited. What is the word I want to use? For some reason, usually, okay, this is how I'll say it. Usually my stress level over exceeds my assumption that it's going to turn out well and my excitement, but this time it's flipped. This time my excitement is outweighing my nervousness and my stress, so I really do think it's going to be great. Knocking on wood. Happy Hillbillies in the house for my wife. Is there a limit on how many quail eggs a person should eat? Not that I know of. I mean, I could be wrong, but not that I know of. We used to eat a ton, a lot. We just got a donation of $10 from La Rochelle Farm. Welcome back. Hope you have a good getaway. I did. Thank you very much. I actually worked until, I don't even know, 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. We got back on Sunday, which is why I canceled, because I knew I'd be in the barn. And then I got back up, I think I slept in till 7:30. But I mean, I didn't go to bed till 2:30. Got up at 7:30 and worked like 18 hours on Monday. And somehow I got all caught up. And I didn't think that was going to happen. But I mean, it was a lot of work. But usually when like I get behind for a day, like something happens and I have to travel or something, it usually takes me 2 days to recoup 1 day. So like when I go get my supplies and I'm gone for 3 days, it usually takes me an entire week to get just where I'm supposed to be. But I was gone Friday, Saturday, we got back Sunday, and I was caught up by Tuesday, and actually more than that. So I just kept going. So yeah, it's been a great week. Good weekend. I'm glad that I was able to get away. Thank you very much for the donation too. Blas Calaco, I think I said that right. Hey Zach, I put eggs in the incubator on Tuesday the 15th. Wouldn't lockdown be on Tuesday the 29th or Wednesday the 30th? Thanks for your help. It really doesn't matter. I actually do have a video. Where is it at? Yeah. What day is lockdown? We're actually going to do a video on that. I'm hoping to do that next week or this week and post it, but that'll be shortly. But either one will work. It doesn't hurt to do them early just in case. So go ahead and put them in. Lockdown on Tuesday the 29th. But I'll do a video and we're going to go more into that. Glenn is in the house. Yeah, Glenn Wells is in the house from Southeast Missouri. I had to remove my roof from the hens. He was scalping one bird and had another one face tore up pretty bad. This happened over a period of time, about 2 hours. Make sure that there's at least 5 hens to every 1 male. If you've only got 2 or 3 hens to 1 male, he will be overly aggressive. They'll kind of fight back, and then they'll make him get even more aggressive. So make sure that there's 5 hens to 1 male and 3 quail to every 3 quail every square foot, and that should eliminate the issue. Fire Horsewoman says, what is lockdown? Lockdown, so you put hatching eggs into the incubator, and the first 14 to 15 days is the incubation process. So the temperature is 99.5 degrees. It can fluctuate between 99 and 100. Humidity can be anywhere from 35 to 45%. Humidity is not that big of a deal during incubation, and they turn multiple times a day. Once that happens on day 14 or 15, you put them into lockdown, which means you take the turner out, you let them lay flat, and then you keep the temperature the same, but you bump up humidity to soften those eggs. And once that happens, they start hatching like popcorn, hotcakes, popcorn. I'm gonna say popcorn. Hotcakes, they don't pop, so that wouldn't make sense. Let's see. Got it. Thank you very much. Now I don't even have to do that. Okay. Let's see. 80 out of 130. I will take that. Thank you very much for doing the math for me. Appreciate that. I would have done it though. Let's see. James is in the house from Maryland for the last time. Next week I'll be in Western New York shopping for a tiny farm with a pole barn. Well, best of luck to you. I wish you all the best. I know you've been researching and studying and learning as much as you can before you go, so I wish you all the best. I'm sure you're going to do great. Terry's in the house. Zach, on my list are quail, rabbits, and bees. Getting the quail first, then rabbits, bees maybe for next year. I hear you. We went the opposite route. We've got quail. We've had quail for quite some time, and I'm getting bees on Wednesday, and then we're getting rabbits later on this summer. So I'm pretty excited about that as well. Juan Duran says, I was adding water to the incubator on day 3 of incubation, and I had an egg collapse. The membrane inside was intact. It's a little weird. I would assume that it already had a fracture or a crack in it, is what I would assume, but I don't know that for sure. Scuba Healer's in the house. First batch in the incubator in Idaho. Well, welcome. We wish you all the best. Good luck. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Juan says, have you ever heard or seen this happen? Also, what might cause it? I was thinking I cracked it while setting them in, but not sure. Usually it is because of a crack or a fracture. And then obviously, it gets real hot. And then with the humidity, it'll kind of either bust or collapse. Usually it actually collapses instead of busting. Usually if one busts, it's usually late into the process. So I would agree. I would think that that's kind of what it is. Jasmine says, gonna be brushing up on your growing jumbo playlist and getting weights on my babies for my jumbos for future breeders for myself. Thanks for recording that week by week process for weight and health. Yeah, I think that pretty much my week to week, what am I calling it? Where's it at? Yeah, my week to week growth video that I'm starting this Friday. We've got chicks hatching. No, it can't start on Friday. It starts on Monday. They go into lockdown Friday. So Monday. We do have a jumbo breeding playlist on our YouTube channel, and it's a week by week short video. They're like 3-4 minutes long about what we look at, weights throughout the process and everything like that. But I'm actually going to do a week by week growth between standards and jumbos, and I'm going to put it in one video. So I think that might help a lot of people as well. Let's see. Don is in the house, and good luck. Good luck. Don's in the house. How many eggs should a young hen lay before collecting for incubating? 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks. How many eggs should a young hen lay before collecting for incubating? I think a good rule of thumb is let her lay for a week. So if she starts laying at 6 weeks old, then the next 7 days just eat them, do whatever, and then after that start incubating, as long as there's males in there. If they start laying at 8 weeks, then you start at 9 weeks or whatever, but usually a week for them to lay, and then they're good to go. Woody Bowers is in the house. Woody here from North Texas. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Donna says, my last name is pronounced Pete's. I'm naming my business Peter Piper Picked Pete's Pet Grooming and Quail Sale. Pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Good luck to you. Woody Bauer says, love your content. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Jose Javier says, question, had a quail hatch out with what seems to be a neck issue, short and has an issue turning right. Yeah, it's called wryneck, and usually that is due to hatching late. So if I had to guess, it was probably one of your last ones that hatched. And what happens is they developed too much in the egg, usually because they hatched late. It's usually a humidity issue, and they didn't hatch when they should have. So they developed more in the egg, and they're obviously curled up. And so usually when they hatch out late, they've got Reintroduce or they've got curled toes or something like that. It's not, can't really fix that. I mean, you could try, but you can't really fix it, to be honest with you. It doesn't usually work trying to fix it. Usually they grow up and they do okay. They're not as productive, but some of them are just as productive as any other ones. But yeah, it's called Reintroduce, and it's not always, nothing's always, but usually a humidity issue, and they hatched out late. Dean's in the house from Louisiana. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Chad's in the house. Welcome. Christy says, we love your YouTube channel. We have learned so much. We learned from Kevin and Sarah, Living Traditions. We watch all of their videos as well. We feel both channels are so informative and inspirational. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And we're glad you're here, and welcome to the community. Don says, yes, I'm literally 11 miles away. It seems a shame to have to use the mail for my upcoming order, but I completely understand why. Yeah, it's kind of driving me crazy, especially spring and summer. You know, we usually have the farm open, and we usually get anywhere from 7 to 12 to, on the weekends, up to 20 pickups a day. And then we do tours and things like that. But because of the avian influenza outbreak, we've completely shut that down, especially getting ready for QuailCon. And I really can't let anything affect that because, well, we've sold a crap ton of tickets. So yeah, I get it. Believe you me, I get it. It's really annoying. Earl's in the house from Nevada. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Pablo's in the house. Hi, Zach. Is normal to get a white quail in the mixed colors? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You can get white quail for pretty much anything. Yeah, we've got, I don't know. Yeah, we've got pandas in the mixes. We've got tuxedos, so you can get whites from tuxedos as well. And we've got some white wings that didn't make weight, too. So yes, it's very, very normal. Pris K is in the house. I think your information has been very good. You explain things well. Well, thank you very much. I do try. Doesn't always come out that way, but I do try, I promise. Earl Dix has been wanting to get into raising quail. Your videos has been very informative. Thank you for all that you do here. Well, thank you very much for watching. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't keep doing it. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Talking about that, if you would like to support the channel, just hit that like button. It is free, and we are trying to get to 200 likes tonight. So we'd greatly appreciate it if you could do that. Helps the channel grow and makes me feel like I'm doing something important, to be honest with you. Get on there. All right. That was not enough to drink. Chad's in the house. Hi. How are you? I'll start again. Chad's in the house. How are you all? It's been a while. Well, welcome back. Wow, that was rough. I'm very sorry, everybody. Donna says, easy peel eggs. Add boiled eggs to vinegar a day. There you go. Thanks for the tip. Okay, about 120 eggs, and you sent 130. 80 hatched, and those are doing good. Awesome. Thank you very much for clarifying all that. You sure you didn't buy 110 and we sent 120? Let's see, 612. There's been a couple orders that's been like that. Maybe. I did write it down though. I got it this time. I understand what you were saying. I'm sorry for the confusion. Glenn Wells says, got brooder box finished today and testing now. Eggs go into lockdown next Wednesday. 36 free eggs from a drawing. Humidity at 45%. Temp 100. Fingers crossed. Well, best of luck to you. I wish you all the best. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Louis in the house between you and Terry got me starting raising quail. That's awesome. Congratulations. And best of luck to you. I think you're going to love it. Better Homemaking Network is in the house. Hello, fellow quail enthusiast. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Chad says, rough patch, but doing okay. That's good. I'm glad that you're getting back to it. Best of luck to you. Charlene White says, how many breeder quail would you put in a 2x8 cage, which is 16 square foot? And is it okay to run them all together? Yes. It's called colony breeding, which is what we do here. And so you can put them all together. So 16 square foot would be 16 times 3, so that would be 48. And then 48, shoot. So you would want, out of the 48, 9. So yeah, out of the 48, you'd put 9 males in there, which would leave you 39 hens. And they would be great. I'm kind of surprised I did that math really fast. Usually I'm not that quick. I could have messed it up too. Margaret and John Hall says, isn't this weather fantastic? It is so pretty with the flowers and bushes blooming. It's something. It's making my trees mad, I can tell you that. Cali Quail Keeper says, hi all from Northern California. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Quail family is growing substantially. Happy to welcome everyone to the addiction. Absolutely, I agree. Jay says, Zach, have you ever heard about fertility going down in male quail when they are molting? Yes, that is normal. Not as much as you would think. I mean, it does drop off a little. It's not that their fertility in the males drop, it's that they're not as active, which does cause a lack of fertility. But it's not really the males. It's just they're kind of lounging more than they are pursuing the hens. But yeah, it happens a little bit. Not a lot, but it happens a little bit. Newbie says, I'm so sad to miss this year's gardening. Moving is a pain. My new greenhouse gets delivered to my new place this coming week, though. That's awesome. Congratulations. And best of luck to you. But once you move, I think everything's going to fit right into place for you. So I wish you all the best. Mekor Acres Rick is in the house from Florida. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Tony's in the house from Toronto. That's 2 Canadians tonight. Welcome. We're glad you're here. I got to put them on. I can't read. I can't see. And can't do that either. Whoa. Those are dirty. Give me just a second. Wow, my head. Okay. Jumbo Wilds out of the 130. Thank you very much. I think I do remember sending a couple different orders like that out. Thank you very much for letting me know. I really appreciate it. And you did a great job. You did great. Congratulations. 3932L. S. McKee's in the house. Hi, everyone. Happy Quail Day. Welcome. We're glad you're here. William Moore says, my jumbos are doing great. About 2 weeks old. Love to hear that. Congratulations. And best of luck to you. I'm going to move that. Maybe a little bit. There we go. Let's see. That's great. I love to hear that. And you're pretty much out of the scary zone. So once you get past about a week, then you're pretty much off to the races. Margaret and John Hall says, I have baby quail in the incubator and they are hatching today. That's awesome. Congratulations. Best of luck to you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Pablo's in the house. Can I put baby chickens in with the brooder with the quail together? The quail are 2 weeks old. I don't recommend it. All fowl carry diseases, but chickens they have a higher threshold of what they can carry without getting sick, but they can pass that on to the quail, which are much, much smaller. I don't recommend it. They can be in the same barn as long as they're not together. I don't think that's a big issue. But putting them in the same brooder, I just don't recommend. But people do it and don't have a lot of issues with it. Keith is in the house. I'm still learning the vocabulary. What is the difference between hatching eggs as opposed to what? Non-hatching eggs? Yeah, really I just mean fertile eggs, eggs that have males in the cages. So I actually had a customer reach out to me via email and wanted, I don't know, I think it was 2 counts of 200 eggs separate, but they needed them to be all non-fertile. And I told them that I couldn't do it. I did send them, I contacted someone and asked them if they wanted the account and order, and got them somebody that could do it. But all of our cages have males in them. So yeah, that's pretty much the only difference. Dr. Connie says, greetings from Central Florida. Welcome. We're glad you're here. And Keith brought up a good point. I've been raising quail for quite some time now. So I try to stay mindful of what I try to stay mindful of not taking, I try to break it down. So, if you're new, you still can get where we're at. I do. But sometimes it's hard because like the terminology is just, I've been doing it for a long time. So if anybody has any questions about terminology or something that I say, feel free to ask. Because I do, that's why we're here. I do want everybody to improve and do better and to be prepared and to learn. So if you do have any questions like that, feel free to ask. I think that was a great question. Bill is in the house. Greetings from Middle Georgia. Welcome. We're glad you're here. The Grazing Farmstead's in the house. Hi, everyone. Greetings from Southwest Missouri. I have my first incubation going. Super excited on my demo run. Well, good luck. Best of luck to you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, but we all wish you the best. Better Homemaking Network says, sweet. That will be perfect timing for that balut video. There you go. Earl Dix is in the house. With the right shelter with Caternix quail survive 100. Yes. Yes, with the right shelter, yeah, as long as they can get out of the elements, they'll be just fine. If they're going to be inside, even in an uninsulated building, they will need airflow for sure. But if they're outside in a cage like that, they'll do just fine. They adapt really well with temperature. It's a great question. A lot of really good questions tonight, everybody. Bring them on. And so far, I've been able to answer them all. I think the last time we did a live, there was like 12 of them that I was like, I don't know. Dr. Henry says, do the whites mature earlier than others? Another batch of white females getting picked on. They're isolated. Do the whites... I would say the whites actually probably... I don't think I've ever run that test. I'm sure we have, but I don't remember doing it. If I had to guess, and I'll write that down because that would be a good experiment to do. If I had to guess, I think the whites actually mature a little bit less than the other colors. If I had to guess. Pacific Northwest. Oh, that makes sense. Gosh darn it. I should have known that. I hate when I don't know things that I should know. It irritates me. Redneck Rangers in the house from Texas. A lot of Texans here tonight. Welcome. Glad you're here. I'm actually listening to a documentary about Texas right now. Pretty interesting. Not quite ready. Our entire flock consists of 6-week-old chicks. You're almost there, though. So, yeah, a couple more weeks and you'll be right where you need to be, probably next week. So best of luck to you. Redneck Ranger says, put 90 pearls in the farm incubator along with 30 of the eggs from the golds. We hatched in late December. That is awesome. Congratulations. I think I just sent those out last week, I do believe. So not this week, but next week you should have a hatch rate, and I wish you all the best. I'm hoping that you get a good, I don't know, we'll say 87 to hatch. That'd be acceptable to me. But best of luck and keep me posted. Juan says, I'm thinking of getting a reptile to eat the calls and deceased birds, unhatched eggs. Do you know what your customers have as pets? Well, my daughter has a boa that eats live quail or frozen or recently called. But the boas won't eat the eggs. Tegus really, really love quail eggs. And tegus are pretty cool, to be honest. La Rochelle Farm is in the house. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back, Mr. Zach. Well, thank you very much. I have not heard any updates, Mark. I was kind of wondering what was going on, but yeah, keep me posted on what's going on. Angela Grace is in the house. My Fab Feast hatch rate went well. The nurture rate 360, 15 out of 18 laid 226, I think. 226, I think. Thank you. Awesome. Congratulations. 15 out of 18, so that means you would have hatched or ordered 25 feet. Why didn't I jumbo? That's great. Congratulations. And good luck. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Silkies do hatch out quail, but you must have a smaller than chick wire pen that the babies can't get out of or the chicks will run away. That's a good point. Yes, I did not even think about that. Redneck Ranger says, any advice on how to mark my eggs at lockdown? Why would you need... Oh, because you put in 30 of the golds from December. Got it. Honestly, the best way to do it is actually take a piece of cardboard and make a little box, put the 30 eggs on one side of it. I mean, if you've got one lockdown, then that would be the best way we figured out how to do it, is just make a little side compartment, a little bit of plastic or cardboard or whatever. If you've got two separate trays, then obviously do that. But if you've only got one lockdown area, then that would, in our opinion, that's what worked best for us when we're experimenting and things like that. Juan is in the house. Hello, welcome. We're glad you're here. Andrea says, thanks, Zach, about the colors. No worries. You're so busy. I'm just excited. There you go. Well, best of luck to you. And I'm trying to get caught up. It just never works for me. Rick is in the house. S. McKee is in the house. Linda is in the house. Hi, kids. Late but here. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Paper Princess says, got my quail, thanks. I'm so nervous. My incubator temp does not match my standalone thermometer. Incubator is 101.3 and thermo is 98.3. Well, you know my philosophy. I don't believe or trust into incubators. I've obviously got major trust issues, but it's because they've let me down, right? So if it was me, if you trust what kind of separate thermometer that you have in there, then I would bump up your incubator to 102.3 so that the thermometer inside reads 99.3 is what I would do. Because you're right on the verge of having a effect on the eggs at that 98.3. And I would trust the thermometer more than I trust the incubator. But it's just a thought. Rick says, hey, look at something like a Tegu or small monitor. Absolutely. PJ's Family Farm says, for anyone wanting to join the Facebook group, please answer all the questions. Absolutely. PJ's Family Farm is the admin of two groups, actually. She's actually the admin of Self-Sufficient Quail, which is a group that we put together this year. I love that group. And she's also a group that I started a couple years ago, actually, and it's called Quail Call. And it's kind of the... So we've got a group called Newbie Quail Lovers that I think everybody should join. But Quail Call is like the next step up. You know, it's more of an advanced Facebook group, and she's an admin on that. So thank you very much. Tim says, can you expand the camping area? I'm working on the logistics of that, and I don't think so. Just because the camping area is going to also be where all the parking is. So it's, I mean, we're still going to have a lot of campers here. The other thought is we could open the backfield and put the cows in the middle pasture, the wooded area, but all the compost is back there. So that's probably a no-go. I don't think so. I also am going to try to contact our neighbors. They don't actually live there. It's just a huge open field. I'm going to contact them and see if they'd be willing to maybe put the parking there, and then we can open up the entire field for camping. But they don't really talk very much. I don't know what the deal is. So we'll see how it goes. Juan says, Tegus and savannas are much too big. There you go. Nate says, I have my quail on the outside on a wire cage wire floor. What's good idea to keep the flies down? I have my quail on the outside and out on. I have my quail outside on a wire cage. What's a good idea to keep flies down? I mean, obviously clean out the trays regularly, and it's. I mean, summer is. I mean, they're gonna attract flies, but those fly strips work wonders. But yeah, I mean, if you can clean out your trays 2-3 times a week, that eliminates a lot of it. But how realistic is that? Not so much, especially with everybody's busy life. So I would just try to keep it as clean as possible, and then put those fly strips on all 4 of the edges of the cage, and that really does help a lot. Linda says, well, with 3 of my 6 quail from you in my dining room injured, I have the evil bird separated now, so waiting for my 22 little ones to give me fertile eggs. They are 4 weeks old now. Well, best of luck to you. We wish you the best. La Rochelle Farm donated $10 to QuailCon. Thank you very much. Still trying to convince Mark to come to QuailCon, but he won't give me an answer. Pablo says, I want to share my opinion. I think you should give guarantee on the eggs that were not fertile, not on the eggs that don't hatch. Why? Because too many factors play on those eggs that don't hatch. That is true, but the same factors apply to the ones that did not start developing either. Just because they didn't start developing doesn't mean that they weren't fertile. Shipping has a huge part to play on the fertility of the eggs. Temperature has a huge part to play, not really humidity, but shipping will affect the development of the eggs more than anything else. So, plus, I want you to get what you're trying to get. Juan says, but that's a good, I mean, that's a good point. We have thought about that. Juan says, was thinking more about kings, bulls, pine, or rat snakes, not sure though, and a BCI maybe, if they could take adult jumbos, but I'd rather something smaller. I'm not. That's the only things that I know of. I'm sure there's plenty of things, but I don't. I don't know. Happy Hillbilly says, "Wow, how embarrassing! May have found the problem with our grow outs being very violent. We got an egg from there tonight. That would be an issue right there. They're all fighting for the queen." Whiskey Tango Farms is in the house. Sorry we're late, but we are listening in. Hi all, welcome. We're glad you're here. Whiskey Tango Farms is going to be here at QuailCon, and they will also be speaking. And I do believe still have a vendor table, so can't wait for them to come back as well. Mr. Jim 5280 is in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Linda's in the house. Heal and keep trying, or what? At 105 divided by 6 at 1750 a plate dinner and lots of cages for sale. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, Linda. Maybe you weren't talking to me. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. No one Naruto says 1 or 2 inch layer of sand is as bedding is fine. Yep, absolutely. A lot of people do that. Yeah, I think that would be fine. Genuine Toe Tag says, when can I take the blue shop towels out of the bottom of my brooder? We take them out when they're a week old. If you're not comfortable with that, some people think that that's a little too soon. As long as you've got 1/4 inch wire, then it's not a big deal at all. We do it every week, but you can replace it after week 1 and leave them on there till week 2. But if you keep them on there for 2 weeks, you need to replace it 3 times. So you can go 7 days once they start hatching and leave the blue paper towels in. Once that happens, you need to take them out and either let them be on 1/4 inch wire or replace the blue paper towels until week 2. But halfway through that second week, you'll need to replace the blue towels because they're getting a lot bigger and they make a much bigger mess. And if you don't, you're going to start getting the poop balls on the feet and things like that. 3 birds a square foot sounds right. Yep, absolutely. La Rochelle Farm says, Zach, I'm not planning on shipping. What ratio should I keep in my colony? I know you say 1 to 5. What about 1 to 8 or 1 to 10? I think you know why I'm asking. I wouldn't. I hear what you're saying, but just because you're not shipping, for what you're wanting to do and what you're needing to do, you need a very high fertility. In my opinion, you would need to adopt the mindset of like you were shipping, to try to get that fertility up as quickly as possible. And I really don't think that 1 to 8 to 1 to 10 is. I think it's going to hurt you in the long run, because I think you're going to have to use more eggs, which means more quail. I think you do a 1 to 5. You could probably do a 1 to 6. You could do a 1 to 6. You could do that. I wouldn't go up to 1 to 8. I'd be worried about that. I mean, I guess you could test it out and try it, and see what your fertility is, but we did not have good luck with that here. Not even just shipping, but we just didn't have a lot of good luck with that when we were experimenting when we got started. Sorry. Salvador Santiago's in the house from Puerto Rico. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Priske says, I thought we were supposed to have 1 bird per square foot. I don't know if that was accurate, what I read, or for specific conditions or reasons. The 1 quail per... No, I don't recommend that at all. I think it should be 3 quail per square foot. 1 bird per square foot, you're going to start getting aggressive issues. Territorial issues is really what you're going to come up with. When you give them too much space, then they start wanting to take more and more and more. So that's why I recommend 3. But everybody does it differently, but that's why I recommend 3. David Lister says, hi, everybody from McAllister, Oklahoma. Sorry to be late in coming in. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. And as Chris from Slightly Redneck says, we don't take attendance, so it's all right. La Rochelle Farm says, I'm going to send a can of Raid for your bees. Zach, that should take care of them. Darn things could kill you. I hear what you're saying. They'll be all right. The kids are terrified, and I'm like, they're going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Still don't know where I'm going to put them. But hopefully the bee guy will help me out with that when he gets here. Woman of Spirit says, Zach, when will you have Celadon sets for sale? I'm not. I'm not going to have Celadons. I don't want them, to be honest with you. They're a long, drawn-out process. I really don't care about them, to be honest, very much. And so I'm just going to use that space and have more jumbos. Plus, we got something new coming that I would much rather work on, and that's going to take a lot of time, and I'm not saying that the Celadons aren't cool, but the whole reason why I would sell them is just to sell them. Like, I don't know. So anyways, I needed space. So it was either move things around, opening up a new space, adding on to cages, building a new cage, moving everything around, moving the feed outside, or I could just get rid of the Celadons. And so that's what I decided. Because I definitely need more jumbos, for sure. So I am not going to be carrying them anytime soon. George is going to move some to his barn just to keep it going. I don't think we're going to bring it back, but maybe. Juan says, try 1 per square foot, increase a bit until you see issues and cut back to remedy, or vice versa. There you go. Which is what we did, which is why we recommend 3. But yeah, you could try that. Priske says, thank you, Juan and Verna. I want to... Oh, you're not talking to me. La Rochelle Farm says, do you feel that aggression is more of an issue in a colony setting for quail? No, I actually think the opposite. We really don't have a lot of aggression issues, and aggression could be a genetic thing, but more than likely, aggression is usually an environmental issue. Not always. Again, there's nothing always, but aggression most of the time is an environmental thing. And there's sometimes where there's just a jerk that hatches, but that's, it is what it is. But no, our colony cages, we really don't have that issue at all. In fact, we don't have that issue at all. And whenever we do, well, if there's ever an aggressor, they don't even go into the colony cages anyway. So it's hard to say. Diedrich Angels in the house. Howdy from St. Louis, Missouri. Started first incubation today. Also going to QuailCon. That is awesome. I can't wait to meet you. And good luck on your hatch. We wish you all the best. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Should you appreciate all you do to help us? Thank you very much, Brad. I appreciate that. And thank you for watching. I appreciate that. Mary Springer's in the house. Welcome. We're glad to hear. David says, is there a way Myshire could send an automated email response when an order has been received? When an order has been, yes, we already do that. Check. Once you place an order, I think the website takes up to 12 hours to process it, and then it'll automatically send you an email saying order is received and processing, and then the next email will be an automated email with your tracking number. Once we ship it out. Scuba Healer says, one of my eggs that I put in the incubator was bumpy. It wasn't dirty. Any ideas? Probably a calcium buildup from that egg that day is what I would guess. Glenn Wells says, the quail was a breeder set I got from you. Only 6 birds. Cage size is 24 by 18. When I separated the roux, the hens all settled down, getting 3 eggs a day. At 8 weeks old, I've gotten 48 eggs. Wow, that's a lot of eggs. 24 by 18, so 2 by 1.5. I separated the roux. I would put the roux back in. And you should be fine, to be honest with you. As long as he's been out of there for a day or two, he won't have that territorial issue anymore. I would assume that would fix it. The Rochelle Farm says, I'm going to wait until all the tickets are sold out for QuailCon, and then I'm going to ask if I can go, just to be a pain. I'm not going to put it past you. Jeff says, just getting started on raising quail. Just ordered my first 50 hatching eggs from you tonight. That's awesome. Thank you very much for your support, and I will get you out as quickly as possible. I know the website says 6 to 8 weeks. We're more looking like 3 or 4 right now, and I'm trying to get caught up as quickly as possible. Rocky Top Farm says, are you drop shipping for Purely Poultry? Your site was out, so I ordered from them, but the eggs came from Myshire. Cost me twice as much. We do work with a couple different hatcheries, actually, but I can't say where. But it's a little bit different. The hatcheries that we work with, you wouldn't know that we hatch from them, or that we drop ship from them. The hatchery, the 3 hatcheries that we ship for, you would not know that they were our eggs. Yes, that is correct. We do it completely differently is what I'm trying to say. Muji says, yep, ordered the pansy from you. The fab fees I hatched out are doing fantastic. Awesome. One male is 8.5 ounces at 6 weeks old. He's a chonker of a chim chim. There you go. 8.5 ounces at 6 weeks. Yeah, those fab fees really do. They get up there in size. They do really well. I'm going to take a small break. If you could just hit the like button, support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. We're trying to get to 200 likes tonight. I would be very grateful if you could help us get there. Help grows the channel and makes me feel like I'm doing something. Fire Horsewoman says, thought bird flu was chickens only. Can you discuss problems that you run into or things you have to guard against? I actually did a video on that 2 weeks ago, I do believe. So it's going to be one of the most recent videos, but I'm pretty sure I titled it like avian influenza. That's got to be in the title, but it's been in the past 7 or 8 videos I did. But yeah, I went into depth about all the information and kind of what's different between chickens and quail and things like that. Linda says, number 117 here, you're doing something important. Thank you very much. I've got a notification, so I can't even see. We're up to 165 likes. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. La Rochelle Farm says, Zach, I'm glad you didn't copyright your cages. I'm building something similar with a few tweaks for my needs. There you go. Best of luck to you. Pris K says, do you add in plants or fake plants, etc., to the colony pens for them to hide or play? We have tried some things in the past. We do give them a bunch of vegetables and things like that, but no, there's no plants or anything like that in there. That causes a huge issue for me. But yeah, they get plenty of snacks, believe you me. Charlene's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Linda says, my hatchlings are 4 weeks old. I have no idea how to sex them. Well, if they're feather sexible, you'll be able to tell now. So the hens will have speckled chests. The males will have plain chests. And if you can't tell, then you would need to wait at least two, probably 3 more weeks to vent sex, unfortunately. Ari says, hi, Ari. Here, my questions are too long, so take 3. There you go. Dr. Connie says, experimenting to find my favorite egg salad recipe. I'm getting close, trying to eat more than production to catch up, collecting 15 a day. That's awesome. You're growing exponentially. Congratulations on that. I know that you're on Facebook. Make sure that you're a part of or join the Quail in the Kitchen Facebook group, and they share recipes and have a lot of fun in there, and that might actually have some recipes in there for you. Fire Horse Woman says, thanks. Oh, not talking. Love the videos, and I'm binge watching Myshire videos. Trump the new season of the Bridgertons on Netflix. High praise for me. There you go. We watched season 1, and my wife just found out that there's a season 2, so yay for me. Ari says, have you seen a trend that jumbo whites are giving better hatch rate than the other jumbo mixes? No, I have not seen that. In fact, we actually hatched out a crap ton last week and separated them, and they were within... One was 4 more than the other, but that wasn't even like 1 percentage point. And then we've got a bunch of them hatching out going into lockdown Friday. So we're going to do a second week to see that. But no, I've not seen that. Linda says, how do you guys do that red name thing? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Ari says, I had a low hatch rate for various reasons, but 50% were whites from jumbo mix. Also noticed from living traditions, they ended up with a lot more whites than others. They actually wanted a couple extra whites, so we actually sent more of those. So that would make sense there. Go Big says, hey, 2 weeks in a row, quail butcher class did good. Made my first actual compost pile too from our hoop house bedding. Great weekend, what I missed. That's awesome, congratulations. And I'm glad that those are working out. I know of at least 5 or 6 people that started butcher classes, and they're doing very well with them. So congratulations to all of that. Mark Braden says, hey, Zach, can you mix jumbo quail with standard quail? Yep, they'll get along just fine. The only issue that you'll want to think about with that, I don't know why I took these off. My head hurts now. Oh yeah, that's why. The only reason that you'll want the only thing you'll want to think about as far as putting jumbos and standards together is it is so much easier to lose jumbo weight than it is to increase the jumbo or the weight on the standards. So it's much easier to lose that weight of the jumbos when you put them with standards than it is to gain weight on the standards. So that's just kind of an issue there. But they'll all get along, and you're not going to lose a lot of weight. You'll probably lose an ounce or so, and it'll all even out because then the standards will gain a little bit as well. So Diedrich says, I have 72 and 1 king button egg in incubator right now. I wasn't sure if the king egg was fertilized, but I checked a second egg and it was, and it has the bullseye. After this hatch, I may try some kings for fun. There you go. Best of luck to you. Purple Schooly Girl says, good evening, everyone from Tucson, Arizona. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Chrissy says, we had problems with algae in our waters. We painted our totes black and keep adding apple cider vinegar. Well, it sounds like you did black hose, black tub, that'll really, really help a lot. That clear stuff creates algae real bad, real fast. So the black prevents the sunshine from coming in. So it sounds like you already fixed the issue. So congratulations on that. Deborah says, what is the biggest size egg that your birds hatch? I think the biggest one we've hatched is a 22 gram. I do believe, somewhere around there. William Morris is in the house. Welcome. Glenn Wells says, my quail that got tore up by the roux was white. They do see color, so sometimes they get angry. If that white quail has something on them, or if it starts bleeding for some reason, you really got to make sure you take that white quail out, because it's like a bull. You know, they see the white and then they see that red and they go after it like a shark. Hope Love says, my first time incubating quail. Well, good luck. Best of luck to you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. We'd love to be able to help. La Rochelle Farm says, have you ever researched the early hatchers to see if the offsprings would also hatch out early, possibly reducing the days to hatch? I understand that temp plays into it, but some always earlier. Yeah, so we're actually doing an experiment and research on that now. There is a way to do it, and we are starting to breed for that. But from our friends at multiple different universities that we're working with that on, we're thinking, and it's not been confirmed. Well, I probably shouldn't say that since it's not confirmed. We are working on that, and we've got 3 different sources that we are breeding specifically for that. It looks like it's going to work, but we are pretty far away from confirming. La Rochelle Farm says, Zach, I sent you a text the Friday before you left. Ooh. Huh. I'll have to look at that. I left Friday, so I remember. Yep, you're right. With an update, I have also been posting videos about the new quail cage on YouTube. There you go. Check out La Rochelle Farm. He's got a YouTube channel. Some pretty good videos on there, so check that out. Don Ray B's in the house. Oh my gosh, I'm late. Hi, everyone. I came in to click the thumbs up. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your support, and we're glad you're here. Flew the Coop Farm says, I would like to comment, people looking for quail, be patient with the breeders in your area with the food shortages. Everybody's overwhelmed with the demand. I know here I can't put on birds fast enough to keep up. Yep, that is for sure what's going on with a lot of different places. Somehow I'm starting to get caught up, which is really nice, but I mean, we're still, me caught up, I'm saying, me getting caught up, I'm still 3 weeks behind, but that's a lot better than what it was. And I've got a lot of jumbos going into breeding program this week. A lot. Like, I am already miserable thinking about how many quail I've got to deal with. That's so many. Jesse Mills is in the house. Welcome. Glad you're here. Fire Horse Woman says, love the name, Flew the Coop. Absolutely. Ghost Kama says, my jumbo whites seem to be feathering in a few days behind the others. However, they are large and beginning to mature in voice at the same time. Yeah, I can't confirm that. I do think that it would be nice for us to experiment with. I don't know. But again, that's not something that I can just confirm next week either. But we will. I have it on my list for sure. I think we got to start working on that. It would be nice to know. S. McKee says, I moved my quail inside a week ago and they didn't even stop laying, even with the walls being wire now instead of wood. So doing good. That's awesome. Congratulations. Deborah Berg says, I've spent grain available for free. How much can I feed my quail? Is there a formula for quail food mix with spent grain? I have no idea. I've never tried that. I don't know the answer to that. But there will be an expert here at QuailCon, a feed expert, PhD nutritionalist for game birds and such, and she'd be able to answer. But I don't know, unfortunately. Heartwood Quailery is in the house from California. Hope I'm not too late. Not a problem. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. Like the name. Jasmine Bass says, for the separation of hatching eggs at lockdown, I have had great luck using a small Lingerie Delicates laundry bag for the smaller incubators like LG or Nurturite 360. The quail hatch safely in the mesh bag. Very interesting. Huh. I don't know what that is, though. What's a Lingerie Delicates laundry bag? What is that? I don't know what that is. I'm scared to look it up, too. I don't even know what's going to pull up on my phone. Redneck says, can you post the links for the Facebook groups? I do believe I remember seeing Verna do it earlier in the program. I do believe. Well, it looks like she's doing it now. Howdy, my favorite people. It's been a while. Robin C's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Don Ray B says, question, do quail lay more than one egg a day? They can. It's not common, but there are, probably 12 in my barn that lay 2 eggs a day. And yeah, not a lot, but 12 out of 6,000. So that's how odd it is. But yeah, it does happen. Purple Schooly Girl says, fly predators, you can order online, help a lot. I have heard that as well. Thank you very much. Elad is in the house. I hope I said that correctly. Any thoughts on sprouted fodder? I have not done it, but I don't disagree with it. I think it's a great idea. I do believe that I saw Verna posting a video or sharing a video about fodder. It might not have been Verna. I thought it was. I think it still is, maybe. But no, I don't have time for it. It's not a bad idea. It just wouldn't work for me. By the way, I really like the jumbo whites I got from Myshire. This is my first time having jumbo whites. They are very calm and curious, nice birds. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I'm glad you're happy with them. That's super cool. My daughter Madison's, her favorite color is the whites, and I don't get it, but that's her favorite color, so I'm not gonna, to each their own. Jasmine says, making plans to make another aviary for my quail. The addiction for Caturnix is real. Absolutely, LOL. It will be smaller than my original aviary and free up the grow out pins. I'm excited. That's awesome. Congratulations. That'll be really exciting. You should do a video on that. Daniel says, can quail manure be liquefied? Yes, it can. A little bit of work, but it can. Or Johnson says, hi, can you tell me when I can order jumbo white from you? All jumbo hatching eggs will be back on the website April 1st. All of them. Very excited. So happy that they're getting back on. S. McKee says, my white roux was badly injured by his hens, so I put Equate first aid antibiotic on his head and back, and the hen stopped attacking him immediately. There you go. Thanks for sharing. Very cool. Tommy says, hello from Aaron, Tennessee. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Juan says, what are your thoughts on spiral breeding? I would like to keep a substantial flock where I don't need to order hatching eggs in the event I can't get a hold of them. Yet still plan to bring in new blood once a year, every other year by means of eggs. Well, if you're going to bring in, you wouldn't need to bring in new blood every year, even if you're not spiral breeding. Heck, if you got 2 cages, that's all you need. You don't need to bring in new blood. But you can do spiral breeding. We've tried it. We've done it before. We actually are going in a different way. We kind of we do a lot of different breeding here. There's a lot of different things because we don't bring in new blood for a couple different reasons, and so we have worked with a lot of experts to get a breeding program where we don't. It's spiral breeding is just fine. There's no issues with it, and it's pretty much the same as chickens, which has a lot of information on Google and even on YouTube, to be honest, about how to do it. I don't think you really need to with quail, but you can, and it's not a bad idea. So yes, it's definitely an option, and it's not a bad option. Zach said the jumbos and all color options will be back on the website April 1st. I did. That's true. Someone's listening to me. Mary says, yay for jumbo eggs. Yeah, I know. I'm so excited. It's just, you have no idea how many text messages that's going to save me. Newbie says, at least 1 square foot bird is for more natural settings, not for battery cages. I give mine at least 1 square foot bird with lots of hiding places. There you go. Jasmine, what's your square foot in your aviaries? I don't think Katrina's on tonight. Yeah, she went to go see her family. Dwight says, what light would you recommend for what? What light would you recommend to candle eggs? I really, really enjoy the Incubating candler. It's in our Amazon store. It's also on our website. I actually bought them in bulk, and we sell them for the price that I got them at, which is, I got like 50 cents off, but whatever. So yeah, we order them on there, and or you can order them on there or the Amazon store. And we've tried a lot of different candlers throughout the years with the quail, and the Incubating candler is by far the best, for sure. Verna says, show Zach your appreciation. Give him a thumbs up. Absolutely. Hey, we hit 200. Thank you very much, everybody. That's super cool. I'm not observant at all. So thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Pablo says, hey, Zach, are you announcing today when jumbos are going to be available? Yes, April 1st, April Fool's Day, but I promise I'm not fooling you. They're back on April 1st. I promise. All of them, all jumbos. I sent out my last white wing order last Saturday, which was yesterday. The last white order was actually last Tuesday. I did have 1 jumbo mix that had to go out Saturday, though. The Egyptian order was Wednesday, and my last jumbo order is tomorrow. So, yes, I will be fully caught up with no orders in the queue, and I am so happy about that. Makes me feel so good. I hear you, Mary. I'm so sorry. There was a lot of different issues involved with my projections. 1, obviously, I sucked at it. And 2, I wrote down some orders wrong. I just wasn't expecting it. So, like, we have like the 110 counts on the website, and there was 6 different times that people ordered multiple quantities that I did not catch until Jenna was printing labels and said, hey, you said this order was going to go out tomorrow. And I said, yep. And they're like, how? And I said, what do you mean? And they said, well, you're getting all these other jumbos out. And I said, yeah. And they said, are you going to get out 875 jumbos plus all these other jumbo orders? And I said, what are you talking about? They had ordered multiple quantities, and I just did not write it down on the ship list right. So that made my projections way off as well. I did that like 6 or 7 different times. I was very upset with myself. So I have fixed that. doing something different now and writing things down. Go Big says, what are the best ways to keep multiple groups of quail separated in lockdown? We have the Brooder Reel 49 for lockdown. Also, what were some things are you calling for your celadons? Also, what were some things are you calling for your celadons? I don't know what that means. That last part. What were some things are you calling? We're not calling any of them. We're actually, so we have everything separated, but we also have a couple feather Sexible cages, we have a couple mixed cages, we have a couple rare cages, things like that, to get those orders out and give you a nice variety. Those celadons are actually going to go into a mixed cage, but we were working on 4 different colors and sizes, and so I'm actually going to just put all those and not try to separate and anything like that. We're going to put those all in one cage. George is going to take the rest, and it'll just be part of a mixed cage. We're not going to sell them; they'll just go into mixed orders. I haven't really decided whether it's going to be rare or regular or both, or I don't know yet. So that's that. Hopefully I answered that correctly. And I don't know. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure the Brado kind of looks like a non styrofoam incubator, like it's all open, I do believe. So in that case, what I would do is get some plastic or some cardboard and just make dividers, put one right down the middle, make a T. And if you need to, you could even split them up even more that way, make multiple sections. But we did that when we had, what did we have? We had a farm innovator way back in the day when we started. And when we started getting different colors, we started separating, and that's how we did it. We just makeshift something, and it works for about 2 or 3 months with cardboard, and then you just replace the cardboard. But I mean, you could use plastic and that'll last forever. So yeah, that's what we did. Nothing fancy. Let's see. Christy says, our Celadon, they have a lot of fertility problems. We really didn't fall into issue with fertility. I had an issue with them keeping up with, I wasn't really trying to work with a specific color or like a true blue or, I wanted something specific, but I didn't care as much. I just wanted a big egg or a big quail. And we got them to that size, but within 2 generations, we were decreasing for no reason. And so we've just been working on it for a long time. And I just thought, if my goal is to sell eggs and live quail for self-sustainability, eggs and meat, why am I working on this? There's plenty of other options, and I'm spending too much time on it. So, and now I needed the space, so I had to make a decision. So, but I really didn't have fertility issues. Those eggs are always questionable when we candle them. They are the ones less likely to be good eggs. Interesting. Could be a male issue. Something to think about. Jim says, are you selling live birds now? No, still getting caught up on the hatching eggs. Probably about 6 to 8 weeks before I'm comfortable doing live quail again. Mary says, LOL, love you, Zach. You have the best quail ever. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, my 3 weeks were your 6 weeks. I did see that. I made mistakes. I made some mistakes. Tanya, I hope I said that correctly. If I didn't, please correct me. My first live chat, and so excited, going to QuailCon from Central Texas. That's awesome. I can't wait to meet you. Very excited. Congratulations. I'm glad you're here, and welcome to the community. Kyle Homewood says, if I breed an Egyptian male with a regular jumbo brown, what will the offspring be? If you breed an Egyptian male with a wild hen, you're going to get sex links. So every time, 100% of the time, you're going to get Pharaoh wild hens and Egyptian, nope. No, I'm sorry, I said that incorrectly. It is sex links. If you breed an Egyptian male to a wild hen, every time it'll breed 100% sex linked, which means they hatch out opposite. So the Egyptians that hatch out will be hens, and the wilds will hatch out males every time. If you have Egyptian males and wild hens. Laura says, how long do quail take to hatch? How long is lockdown? Usually lockdown should be about 3 days. They should start pipping on day 16, start hatching massively on day 17, pretty good hatch on on day 18, and then end up on 19 is how it should go. It really has a lot of factors. It depends on your temp, depends on your humidity as well. But that's ideally they start pipping on 16, they hatch 17, 18, and then end on day 19. You throw them out on day 20, ideally, but that's if all factors are doing well, which is not always the case. So typically about 3 days. If they start hatching late, you usually want to go 4 is a good practice. Chris says, oh, okay, so question about brooder grow out cages. How big should they be and how many birds per square foot? Assuming birds are moved into permanent cages once they're sexible. So what we do here and what we recommend, what we think is the best practice, is for the brooders, we do 6 chicks per square foot is what we do here, which sounds like a lot, but they're this big. So 6 chicks per square foot. And then once they are, how do I word that? Okay. The day they turn 3 weeks old. So when they're 2 weeks and 7 days old, 3 weeks old, that's when we move them to the grow out pens, which is really just layer cages. And we do 3 quail per square foot then. And if they are feather sexible, then we separate the males from the females right then, and that eliminates a lot of aggression from the males later on, because the males will mature faster than the hens. Ghost Kama says, sent my like always. You're doing a great job, Zach. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support. We're up to 203 likes. Thank you very much. Diedrich Angel says, could you do a video on calibrating the Govi? Sure. I think actually someone's asked me that before, and I wrote it on another piece of paper, and it was not on my list. Govi calibration. Yes, I do spell while I read. Yeah, I put that on my to-do list. Friendly friend is in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. La Rochelle Farm says, how much feeder space for how many birds? It's a good question. What we do, and I don't think there's a right or wrong answer, to be honest with you, but our feeders are, okay, so it's 33 inches of the cage, and there's 2 inches on each side, so 33 minus 4 is 29. So our feeders are 29 inches long. Usually you can see about 7 or 8 of them eating at one time if they want to. And we've got 55 quail in a cage. So not a ton. Do you have plans available for various cages over the years? We do not. George and I are actually working on a different brooder setup, and we are thinking about maybe next year we're going to build a different cage. But all before now, Papa the Builder built them all, and he does it all up here. I don't think he's ever made no, he did make a blueprint for when he built his house, but that's because his wife told him he had to. In fact, I think his wife actually did the blueprint, to be honest. So yeah, he's not a big writer downer. He's more of a, I got it in my head and let's just do it. Or sometimes he'll take a block of wood and just write what he's going to do, and then no one can find that piece of wood ever again. Friendly Friend says, I have an adult bird which all of a sudden appears unable to stand on its own. It slides on one side of its body to go around. It was walking normal previously. It's hard to say. I wasn't there, but it sounds like maybe it got spooked and hit its head, and it's a neurological issue. I definitely take it out and check its feet and legs. It could have got caught in the wire as well. It's hard to say. It's definitely injured. If you can't see any visible things wrong with it, then most likely it's a neurological issue. RK says, 2 weeks ago, watched avian influenza out. Let's try this again. RK says, 2 weeks ago, watch avian influenza outbreak and steps to take to keep your quail safe. Don't freak out on YouTube. Thank you very much. I knew that was a name in it. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Rick says, do you have your quail dust bath in your colony cages? If so, what do you use and how messy are they? Very messy. We tried that and it was an absolute disaster, so we got rid of it. We have tried it before. We used just play sand and just a splash of DE, not a lot. It actually says on the instructions on how to do that, but yeah, we don't do that anymore at all. That was a disaster for me. I think it would work for a lot of people, but with our setup, it was really something I wish I never did. And it's just because of our setup, not that it was a bad idea. Kelly Ford says, what's the best way to reintroduce a male back to breeder cage? I had to separate him because he was basically scalped, but now has recovered. If he was scalped, the best thing to do is actually take them out, take the hens out or the rest of the birds out, put the male into the box that you're temporarily holding them in, and then put them back into the cage about 20 minutes later. Preferably whatever box that you're using to temporarily hold them in, make sure it's completely dark. And then when they all go back in, they usually don't even notice. Gary Miller's in the house. Welcome. Hello, Zach and Verna, Ed Got Bait, and to all the rest of the Quail family and friends. Welcome. We're glad you're here. David Lister says, I have 14 4-week-old jumbos in a Winola cage with plunger waters. They aren't getting the hang of using the plungers. Any thoughts on getting them to use them? I've never used them. Unfortunately, I have no experience with that. I highly recommend to everybody in the world the troughs. I absolutely love the troughs. I'm sure there's a good way to teach them to use the plungers, but I've not used them, so I can't tell you. I'm sorry. But maybe someone on here can. So, I mean, maybe down later in the comments, somebody can give you some advice. But I cannot, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Danny Rodriguez says, question, got jumbo browns from eBay. The eggs are small. They hatched now, have 26 so far. Can you get jumbo quail out of small eggs? You can. I guess it depends on how small you mean, but egg size does play a part in the size of the quail, but not as much as what people think. I don't have a specific number. In fact, we've got a university actually coming up with that number, just because I tried and I just couldn't do it right. I couldn't do it. And I sent them the readings and they're like, I think you did something wrong. And I was like, I don't know. And I was like, I'm not willing to do it again. So how about I just send you some? And they're like, yes, let's do that. And I said, great. So we're working on that as far as the percentage of how much the egg affects the size, but it's not a lot. So it's not a great start, but I wouldn't lose all hope in the eggs. I don't know how many you ordered. We don't sell eggs we don't sell jumbos on eBay, so I know they weren't mine, but I don't know how many you ordered, but I mean 26 so far, that doesn't, well, I guess you could have ordered however many you ordered. No, I wouldn't worry yet. I wouldn't worry yet. Gary Miller's in the house from North Carolina. Welcome. We're glad you're here. End of day's broadcast is in the house. Zach, is the Texas A&M Jumbo White Quail a reasonable breed to start with, or should I be going another direction? I have 2 dozen arriving Wednesday, and I am nervous. No, those are fine. They're big. I usually recommend people to order something that's feather sexable to start you out with. The jumbo whites are not feather sexable, so you have to vent sex them at 6 to 8 weeks old. Usually people get really antsy and lose their patience, and they just want to sex them at 6 weeks, and they're kind of hard to do if you're not familiar with it, so it can get frustrating. But they are big quail. There is no such thing as Texas A&M though. They're no longer in existence, as far as I know. But they're jumbo whites, and a lot of breeders, not a lot of breeders, a lot, how do I word that? A lot of sellers, that's a good word, a lot of sellers out there either use that as a selling tool because a lot of people know what Texas A&M means, or a lot of people just do it because it's easier to do that rather than jumbo whites, or they're trying to trick you. But jumbo whites, I mean, they're jumbo whites, so it's not a big deal. And yeah, I really recommend our jumbo whites. They clean up nicer than any of the other colors as far as butchered quail, so that's nice as well. But usually when someone starts out, I usually recommend something that's feather sexable, because you can feather sex them just by the look of them at 3 weeks old. You don't have to handle them so much. You don't have to wait until 6 or 7 weeks old, and it's a little bit easier for newbies, but it's really not that big of a deal. They're going to be big, and I hope they're big for you, and I wish you all the best. Richard Brown says, late but in from Tennessee. Welcome. We're glad you're here, Richard Brown. Jimmy says, are the first eggs hatched fertile? Are the first eggs hatched fertile? Maybe laid. Are the first eggs laid fertile? Not usually. Usually, a good rule of thumb is let them wait for a week. So once you see the first egg laid, wait 7 days and then start collecting for fertility as far as hatching goes. I think that's what you meant. If you didn't, please correct me and I'll answer it better for you. But usually the first couple of days it's not fertile, or it's a pretty low fertility rate. Shailene Torreson's in the house. AM are technically extinct. Anyone who says they have them without a pedigree papers to prove it are lying. We know them as jumbo whites. Now, that's true. I don't think that there's a lot of sellers out there that are trying to be untruthful, though. I think some could be, but I don't. Maybe I choose. I'll say it that way. I choose not to believe that a lot of the sellers are trying to manipulate. I think some might be, but I think the majority of people that just get, white quail that are, I think that that's just what they know them as. I know a lot of older, how do I word that? I know a lot of older customers that I get that want the Texas A&M quail, and so I'll explain it, and they don't really. They just wanted the white quail. So now I just say we've got the jumbo whites, and so I'll say that, but I don't go into my whole thing because it's just that's what they know them as, and I think that might be where a lot of sellers are doing that, especially something like eBay and things like that. It's just a little not as educated or whatever, but I do agree. Some people might be trying to not do it right. Oh, that's why I don't have it in front of me all the time. Oh, I'm going to bed after this anyway. The Grazing Farmstead says, when selling balutes to Asian customers, do you experience customers preferring canned balutes? I haven't had anyone yet commit, but it's early. Canned, I've never done that in my life. No. I don't recommend offering it though. That would be a lot of extra work, and you're not going to get any extra money out of it. Not a horrible idea to think about, though. No, I've never done it, though. Susan Kruger says, this is the little quail hut. Got my first birds Saturday. Can't wait to get the jumbo wilds. Congratulations, getting your first quail on Saturday. That's really exciting. I wish you all the best, and good luck. Who doesn't like free samples? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a great way to get your name out there. Shailene says 5 likes away from 200. Come on, guys. That was about a half hour ago, but we're at 211, so thank you very much. If you haven't hit the like button, I'd greatly appreciate it if you did. Helps the channel grow and makes me feel good. But our goal was 200, and you all exceeded that, so thank you very much. Randall says, hey, everybody, as of Friday, I'm officially a member of the club with a hatch of 32 out of 50. That's great. Congratulations, Randall. Pretty good hatch rate, too. That's really cool. I don't know if they were ours. If they were, if you could let me know, I will write that down for our records. But congratulations. John Hicks says, hi, y'all. Glad to see you are all back here. Absolutely. Thanks for being here as well. The Grazing Farmstead says, I am sampling fresh eggs, haven't sampled blues. I'm getting started, but I will offer it. I need to see canned pricing at Asian markets. I've never tried that. I mean, you might be able to get more out of it, maybe. James says, how does one donate? I get the button, but how do we actually pay? I haven't needed to know as I'm poor, but things change. I hear what you're saying. To be honest, I don't really know. I think you click on it. Let's just try. You click on it, and then it's a super sticker, super chat. We'll say super sticker, and then you can pick your pricing. It looks like these are, you decide which ones you want. Let's try to super chat. Yeah, so you just pick which kind and then buy and send. But I'm not logged into my Apple on here. I hate when that happens. So I'm not too sure. But yeah, it's whatever you signed up for your, I don't know, to be honest with you. I'm just talking out loud for no reason. Somebody smarter than me is going to comment below. And I lost my spot, which is kind of a bummer. Let's see, we were at somewhere around 8:30. James asked that question. Yeah, James, somebody smarter than I is probably going to comment below and explain it, but I don't know. I've done it a couple times for other people, but I don't know how he did it. Don Ray B says, I'm starting to think it was the male that escaped. I have 5 birds and get 5 eggs a day. Haven't figured out how to vent sex. Might be the male. It would make sense that it was the male as well, as they're going to be a little bit more flightier. I hope not. Jimmy says, are the first eggs hatched fertile as long as there's a boy in the house? Jimmy in Kentucky. Welcome, glad you're here. I'm assuming you meant laid and not hatched. Are the first eggs hatched fertile? I was assume you mean laid. So that's been a very common question tonight. In fact, it's been so common that maybe I'll just do a video on it. A good rule of thumb is let them lay for a week once they start, and then start using the eggs. So the first 7 days, just put them in your breakfast. And then after that, start collecting for incubation is a good practice. The Rochelle Farm says, and by the way, the BYC egg auction that Tanya put on was fun, even if I was a loser. I did notice you didn't win. You've been waiting for auctions, so I'm a little confused on that, Mark. Yeah, I actually had 2 people well, actually all 3, but 2 of them contacted me. I shipped those out Saturday. So they can be a part of the Easter. And then Saturday, the 3rd person contacted me that won, and they just paid last night, I do believe, and they're going out tomorrow. So they'll probably be a day behind. 2 days behind. Well, I think they'll be a day behind the hatch thing. Yeah, it sounded like it was really well. I was out of town, so I didn't get to check it out, but I've heard great things about it for sure. Chad says my jumbo whites run away from me. It happens. It happens. We just got a $10 donation. Thank you very much. Just click and decide how much you want to give. Well, thank you very much. $10. Thank you very much. That goes to QuailCon. I appreciate that. Gary Miller says, what is your thoughts on using the real fine feed and making it back into pellets? We just reuse it. We don't put it into pellets. We just reuse it. And as long as it's mixed in with the crumbles that we use, they eat it. It's just what they scratch through, whatever. But we don't do anything but just collect it, sift it, put it into a new bag, and mix it up. Redneck says, I just used the fine feed for the brooder chicks. That's not a bad idea either. Mr. Jim 5280 says, could anyone refer me to some quail cage plants? I made a bank of 3 cages, but I don't like them. I'm now in process of building all wire cages, and I'm not 100% in love with them either. Honest, I would actually check out, well, yeah, I would actually check out La Rochelle Farm. He said he's doing some videos on a cage that he's building, and he's modeling it after ours. So I would check that out. I love my cages, so that might help a lot. Also, you can check out dalesquails.com and Winola Ranch. Obviously, they're not going to have videos on how to build them, but you can kind of look at them and see what you like and don't like and things like that. Dr. Connie says, I opened a bag of oyster shell today and it seemed way too big for me. Can I use it? Do I grind it? If it's the fine, then you don't need to grind, but if you're more comfortable, you can grind that up. That wouldn't be a big deal at all. We didn't grind it when we used it way back in the day, but we got the little tiny ones. There's different sizes. I think there's only 2 different, well, at that point in time, there's only 2 different sizes we could choose from. We got the smaller one. There was like a pellet size and a crumble size. We got the crumble and it worked fine. But yeah, if it's too big, you can grind that up. Gypsy Moon says, is the taste of jumbo quail going to differ from the regular size quail? Less of a taste, more like chicken than regular quail. Have you done a taste test? Yeah, jumbos and standard taste the exact same. It's a good question, but they taste the exact same. Just one's bigger. End of day broadcast says, Zach, what is the average weight of your jumbo white quail at 12 weeks, if you don't mind sharing? 12? I don't know. I don't weigh them at 12 weeks. We weigh them at 8 and 10. I don't know, but I can tell you where to get that information. We actually did a video. If you type into the YouTube search bar, all about the jumbo whites by Myshire Farm, then that video will show up, and it's a video just about the whites, their average egg size, their average weight at full maturity, which is 10 weeks, how many eggs they lay a year, how long they live, how productive they are, what they look like, so on and so forth. Or you could search for it that way, or you can go to our YouTube channel. You can go to the tab that says playlist, and in that category, there's going to be one that says all about the colors. You can click on that, and in that playlist is the white plus a bunch of different ones. Our largest are the Jumbo Wilds, and they average about 14 ounces at 10 weeks, 12 ounces at 8 weeks. But I don't weigh them at 12. I weigh them at 8 and 10, and if they made the cut, they made the cut. If they didn't, then they don't. Jesse Mills says, Loretta said the jumbo whites are her favorite because they are pretty and not feisty, and told me I had to type this so you would say it. There you go. Well, welcome, Loretta. Glad you're here. And yeah, my daughter likes the jumbo whites as well. I have been lying for quite some time, if you do want to know. I've been telling a lot of people for a long time that my wife's favorite color was the BTAs, the Black Tie Affair. And somehow that changed, and I guess I didn't get the memo. I was talking to her about it the other day, I think when Verna was over actually, and she's like, that's not my favorite. And I said, well, it used to be. She goes, well, yeah, but it's not now. And I was like, well, you never told me differently. Her favorite's the Pansy Feast. And I'm like, but that's my favorite. She's like, that's okay. And I said, well, you got to pick another one. She goes, no, no. And I said, okay. So I guess we have the same favorite color now. I'm thinking about changing mine, but they're still my favorites, so. Gary says, my birds will eat all but the fine stuff. I do mix it in with the starter feed, but still collecting it. I like the brooder idea. That's a really good idea, giving it to the chicks. It's a great idea, actually. Mr. Jim 5280 says, I love the cages from Winola, but can throw down that kind of money. Absolutely, I agree. I was just thinking of maybe getting ideas on what you like about it, and then you can implement that, is kind of what I meant. But yeah, I completely understand that as well. Gypsy Moon says, does anyone else have an opinion? I don't know. Oh, if they taste, yeah, they taste the same. Chad says, a cheap coffee bean grinder is great for grinding feed for chicks if your crumbles are too big. That is true. Redneck Ranger says, can a light be too bright for candles? I'm assuming for candling. No, I don't think so. Can't imagine. Tana says, I'm excited about April 1st and about 100 hours till jumbos. There you go. I'm really excited about putting them back on the website. They were not on the website at all this month. Holy cow. Wow. Yeah, I'm excited to put them back on as well. Rick says, I bought some spare male pharaohs to a swap a couple of weeks ago. Only sold a couple, but I was able to swap some for some random chicks. Ended up with a blonde and 3 silvers. Excited to add to covey. Very cool. Congratulations. Excuse me. S. McKee says, was reading a recipe for eggs, and the author said not to boil the eggs, but to steam them instead, and they will peel very easily. I plan on trying it with quail eggs. I have not heard that. Interesting. Alex R says, got my shipping notice today. Thank you. Can't wait. That's great. That means you go out tomorrow. Jenna works on labels while I do this. But she finished pretty early, to be honest. She took her no time at all to do labels today. Jasmine says, Zach, I'm in an aviary. I do 2.5 square feet per quail with lots of hiding spots. No territorial issues in there. And in my grow out pens, I follow the 3 quail per square foot. Less is not pretty. I see that. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm going to write that down because I get that question a lot. 2.5, gosh darn it, 2.5 in the aviary, and then 3 in the pens, which is what I do. Cool. Thank you for letting me know. Rick says, I've tried a few different candlers. The Incubrite is by far the best and brightest. I agree 100% as well. Just trying to find who's talking to me. Which is fine. You guys talk. There we go. Richard Brown says, I crossed wild out of 200. I got a blue tuxedo. Ever happened to you? No. No, that's kind of weird. It's cool. Kind of weird. Josh's Punk Rock Garden says, I have a 6.5-week-old hen who had been a little beat up. A couple spots where she was bleeding and missing feathers. I separated her. Should I wait for the feathers to grow back before reintroducing? I have a 6.5-week-old hen who has been a little beat up. A couple spots where she was bleeding. I wouldn't worry about the feathers necessarily growing back before you introduce her, but I would make sure that the skin is healed. Especially if it's on the back, I would do that. It sounds like it's overbreeding, so just make sure you have 5 hens to every 1 male. Since it's 6.5 weeks old, they just started being mature, so you could have just had an overzealous male. But try to make sure that there's 5 hens to every 1 male. And if it's on the back, that's a breeding pattern, and so you'll want to make sure that's fully healed before you put her back in, because if it's not, they'll open it back up and then it could get ugly. I think it was just establishing pecking order. She acts just fine. Yeah, I think she'll be okay. I would just wait until that's done. Gypsy Moon says, I was disconnected from chat. Don't know if You have my question, does jumbo quail taste different than regular quail, either the eggs or the chicken, when it comes to taste? Nope, they taste the exact same, just one's bigger. Jimmy says, are the first eggs hatched fertile as long as there's a male in the mix? We did answer that, but just a recap. You want to wait a week once they start laying. Keith says, I'm looking at the Myshire site, cannot see the wilds. They should be on the first page. They'll say out of stock right now, but April 1st is when they'll be back in. Quail eggs taste better than any other egg, and they are healthier for you. Agree 100%, Gary. Absolutely. We are up to 100 or 229 likes. Guys, you're awesome. Thank you very much. Gypsy says, I have only raised the Tennessee red quail, not the Coturnics, but I do have a few of the A&Ms. There you go. Yes, just since Myshire only does these. Yeah, Coturnics all taste the same. Juan says, do quail lay eggs in color other than celadon? A few, but it's very, very rare. We haven't been able to reproduce it at a scale that we could sell it at. But we get a couple purple, get a couple really dark green, not celadon, I mean like hunter green eggs. But it skips generations, and it's just not something that I can get on a big scale where I could sell them. But they're fun, they're cool. Christy says, we have 2 Texas A&M females. Do we breed them with Tibetans to get more A&Ms? No, you don't do that. You breed them with Tibetans, you're going to get tuxedos. Which, I mean, well, no. If you've got Pharaoh, you'd use Pharaoh. Don't know if the Bob Whites taste different or not from the Coturnics. They do. Bob Whites are a little bit gamier. Sarah says, greetings from Rough Acres Homestead. Our first batch of eggs from you are laying their own eggs now. I've had my first egg sale. I just placed an order for more eggs because we're hooked. Well, congratulations. It sounds like you're doing great. You got a hatch, you got them laying eggs, and you've had your first sale. You're doing great. Congratulations. That's great. Congratulations. Good luck. And if you need any help, feel free to let us know. Don Ray B says, it seems like there needs to be a video about the A&M's history and current name. I see A&M's advertised also. A lot of people, well, I don't think I would do a video on it. Mainly because I don't think I care. I mean, I don't, that's what they mean. When people say Texas A&M, they mean the big white ones. You know what they mean? Or you know what I mean? That's what they mean. There's a few people out there that know that Texas A&M, their goal of working on that was to get white meat, not dark meat. But all Coturnics is dark meat. They couldn't produce that, and so, but not a lot of people know that. I think it's just an uninformed thing, and I don't think it matters correcting people, to be honest. It might. I just don't think I'm the one to do it. Because that's really what they want, is just the jumbo whites. And, I mean, to me, I've kind of adopted the attitude of Texas A&Ms are jumbo, just a different name for jumbo whites, and people call them, jumbo white recessives or jumbo recessive whites, or I don't know. People use a lot, but just like wilds and pharaohs and meat makers and this, that, and what was the other name for them? I forget what the other name was, but I mean, I'm sure some people use it as a marketing ploy, but they're jumbo white quail. I'm going to buy Papa the Builder a plane ticket to help me build my cages, all the fajitas and margaritas he can keep down. He'll do it. I have no doubt that he will not do it. You buy the plane ticket and take care of him while he's down there, and he'd get out of here in a heartbeat. Glenn Wells says pedigree hatching. He retired, so he's doing what he wants now. He's in cloud nine. Pedigree hatching bags used to separate eggs when hatching multiple varieties of chickens can be used with quail. Pedigree hatching bags used to separate eggs when hatching multiple varieties of chickens can be used with. There you go. Thanks for sharing. Thanks, Incubating. Thanks, Incubating my first quail following. Awesome. Congratulations, Matthew. And wish you the best. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And I hope you do well. Rick says, would it be safe to add 4 to 5 week olds to adult colony cages? I think they need to be a little bit older. We've tried it and it's went both ways. We've put them in there when they're 5 weeks old, and it's went fine sometimes, and sometimes it's a disaster. A good rule of thumb is waiting until they're about 7 weeks. You could probably get away with 6 because they're already starting to lay eggs or starting to crow or whatever. But 4 or 5 is a little young for them. But you could try it. You just got to keep an eye on them. Bethany says, hi, Zach. I have a hard time identifying my quail, even with a lot of help I can find online. Could I suggest your website include a section with a few different examples to identify each bird? We will eventually work on that. I mean, on the website, there's a bunch of pictures. I'll put a slideshow together. I mean, it's been on my list forever, but it's just so much picture taking that I hate. But I'm sure it would help a lot of people. So, but yeah, that is on my list. Tammy says, if I mix a jumbo with a regular, should the jumbos be the hens? If you mix the jumbo with regular, if you're wanting to increase the standard size, then you want the jumbos to be males, not hens. Bethany says, I know you include pictures when purchasing eggs and when you have all about the colors video, but some of my quail from my mixed eggs have weird coloration. I think having more examples could be more helpful. I agree. Finding the time to do it, that's my issue. But I do agree that I need to be more focused on that for sure. Gypsy says Stromberg sells them as Texas A&M. I do think I remember hearing that. And that's again, I don't think they're being malicious or false advertising. I think that, they're pretty much, I mean, I know they sell everything, but they're mainly chickens. They sell a lot of eggs and a lot of chicks, and they're not really a quail thing, but they sell them. And so that's just, I don't think they mean anything by it. And I think that's what they mean, is just a jumbo white bird. Farmer Joe's chickens, sorry. My son is getting into quail. He is 16 years old. How can he enter the kids' monthly draw? There's a video, if you type in 1800 contest by Myshire Farm, that will show up. That will show everything that he could win plus more, and how to enter. But he would enter by emailing me, Zach at myshirefarm.com, a good story, why he wants to do it, his age, where he's from, what his plans are, things like that, and we pick a winner once a month. Don Ray B says, just Google Strombergs, and yes, they are still selling them as A&M. Just looked at the site. That's sad. Again, I don't think it's malicious. I think they put them on there to sell some eggs, and they're not really, that's what they mean. Tammy says, so excited my Myshire eggs will be shipping soon. Awesome. Congratulations. And thanks for your patience, and I will get them out as soon as possible. Rick says, there's a fine line between educating and belittling someone. I agree with that. I agree. And if it's not that big of a deal, then why even worry about it? You know what I mean? Jimmy says, yep, the first eggs laid. Thank you. Awesome. Yeah, that's what I figured. So yeah, a week. You want to wait a week as a best practice. Farmer Joe's Chicken says, do you ship to Canada? I do not right now. There's been a lot of issues with that between COVID. They kind of shut it down and got a lot more strict and didn't really want anything passing through there, especially live embryos or anything like that. And then now that the avian influenza outbreak has happened, there's not a chance you can do it legally. So not right now, unfortunately. Bridget says, weren't the true Texas A&M a white or light colored meat? That's what their goal was, yeah. That's why they started working on them, is they wanted a light or white colored meat, and it did not work out that well. So they scrapped the project a long time ago. But, you know, that's just, people don't mean it. Linda says, I have a mess. My set of birds that I got from you is a mixed batch. My bad. I did not know there were mixed batches. I just thought a quail was a small brown bird. Yikes. I'll look for eggs. There you go. Best of luck to you. Rick says, that was the attempt, Bridget, but it didn't work. Yeah, correct. With the Texas A&M. Just made venison meatloaf with quail eggs. That's pretty cool, Debbie at She Shed Homestead. That's pretty cool. Jasmine says, FYI, Zeke, the 18 under contest from November 21 winner has successfully hatched out his first set of quail chicks from his contest adults. I told him, congratulations, Grandpa, LOL. He is so proud of them. 23 out of 24. That's great. He is just killing it. He's doing great. He's going to really succeed. That's great. Tanya donated $10 to the 18 or to the Quail Con. Thank you very much. Just click and decide how much you want to give. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Randall says, yes, my eggs were from you. Half jumbo white, half BTA, hatched out of a new little giant incubator. That's awesome. Congratulations. I actually did write that down, and I just didn't know. But white and, well, okay. White and BTA. That's great. Congratulations. Jasmine says, I miss egg auctions. My wallet doesn't. I can wait until you have them up again. There you go. It'll probably be a couple weeks, but I'm getting closer to it. Hobby Farm says, hey, Zach, just coming in, and my quail are 5 weeks and outside, and also I vent sexed them all 11. I turned out to have 3 male and everything else is female. That's great. Congratulations. It's not a bad ratio at all. Also, Zach, how is the rabbit project coming along? Haven't started. We've got a plan together, but haven't started. Bees first. And I got to get this quail barn in order. But we did finish the last cage, so that is all done. This week I'll be moving all the quail again, which is super annoying, but then we're done with the main barn. And then George will be working on the brooder room. So the goal is to have the quail barn completely done by the second week of April, and then we're going to start working on the emus and the fencing, and then the bees will already be here, and then we'll start on the aviary. But I'd like it to be a little bit nicer before we start working on that, because it's cold out. Chad says, good night all, happy quailing. Absolutely, thanks for being here, I appreciate it. Jasmine says, thanks guys, I will tell him. Proud big sis over here, he's definitely standing on his own 2 feet and taking off. Absolutely, he's doing fantastic. Karen says, looking for the company name for the brooder boxes on legs. Any ideal? Living Traditions Farms just showed us one this fall, not finding the name of the company. It's dalesquails.com is what you're looking for on that. And yeah, they're amazing. Will this broadcast be available as a video afterward? Yes, it will, Keith. Absolutely. Matthew says, can't wait to eat a few quail. Do you have a good recipe? There's a Facebook group called Quail in the Kitchen, and it's all about recipes. I would recommend checking it out there. Carissa says, late but here from Texas. Welcome, we're glad to hear. Hobby Farm says, hey Zach, my quail should start laying at 6 to 7 weeks, right? I have a Fab Fee and Tuxedo and Snowy and Pearl. Yeah, anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks is when they start laying. You need to make sure that they have light. I think you said they're outside. They need to have about 16 hours of light a day to start laying as well. Priske says, you have an amazing selection of colors, patterns on your website. Hard to decide which ones are my favorite. I hear you. I hear you. Did you say the jumbo whites will be in stock April 1st? I did, actually. Very excited about it. Karen says, at 3 weeks old, can I put in the non-heated garage? They will need a heat lamp or really cold nights, time to get out of the house. Yeah, you can move them outside, but they will need a heat lamp for probably about an extra week if it's going to be real cold there. But yeah, you could move them out uninsulated. That wouldn't be a big deal. Just give them a heat lamp out there for 1 week. Taylor says, what males do you recommend with your SSC collection? Any of them. Pharaohs, Golds, Tibetans. Those are great. Scarlet's fine. It's not like the other ones. Rosetta's fun. Yeah. Anyone will do, but yeah, the top three would be Pharaoh, Gold, or Tibetan. Migris says, expecting eggs notified a couple days ago that they are being sent. Do you ship over the weekend or just giving a heads up for Monday shipment? We do ship over the weekend. They all went out except for one order. So if you ordered 120 autumn ambers, I misjudged and couldn't ship it out. But everything else went out yesterday, except for that 120 autumn, which will go out tomorrow. But I have no idea. I had marked an order before that for the autumns, and then I collected it, and then I was like, well, how am I supposed to do 180 count of autumns in one day? And so I couldn't do that. So it goes out Monday. But everything else went out. So Urban Farm says, hey Zach, do your Jumbo Wild carry the extended brown gene? Do your Jumbo Wild carry the extended brown gene? Yep, absolutely. It should too. Joey says, I used the Little Giant 360 incubator and it was great. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Don Raby's not talking to me. Gypsy Moon says, what other company sells white quail? If there is no A&Ms from Texas, since mine are white, now I don't know what they are. Would anyone know? That would be fine. They're just whites. I mean, that's really what they are, just jumbo whites. Glenn says, I say we should all order eggs just because it's fun watching Zach do his impersonation of a cross-eyed cat watching 3 rat holes. There you go. Oh. Matthew says, I'm using a Little Giant incubator. What incubator would you use that has better hatch rate and easier to see the eggs? I've heard the Hovabator Genesis is really good. Brencia is obviously really good. But you can get really good results with the Little Giant. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say the Hovabator and Little Giant, I wouldn't say that's really an upgrade. Like, it wouldn't be worth the money to buy one of those. I would say the next upgrade to that would be the Brencia. Let's see. Debbie says, Zach, we have our first autumn amber egg in the incubator. 40 of them. Excited stuff. Awesome. Congratulations. Best of luck to you. Corey says, got our notice. Our mixed and Rosetta will be shipped. We are excited. Awesome. Congratulations. I'll ship those tomorrow, unless I misprojected, but I don't think I did this time. Papin Homestead says, Ceramas also will hatch quail eggs very well. I did not know that. Thanks for sharing. Jimmy says, is the inside of quail egg shell always blue? Most of the time, yes. Leadership Help Desk says, any chance of doing an official black soldier fly experiment? I will not. No, I don't use them. Because we customize our feed, I just don't need to, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't need to supplement the feed because we customize our feed. And I would rather, I mean, they don't really need it. I would get a high protein starter and a regular chicken layer, and they don't really need it. So I think it's just a, no, I won't. David says, I have 5 jumbo whites from a recent jumbo white wing Pharaoh order. Will the jumbo whites produce only jumbo whites? There's a small chance you'll get a white wing down the road, but there's a small chance, but usually just whites, yeah. Don Ray B says, good night, everyone. Take care. Thanks for showing. I appreciate yourself. Bars Farms in the house. Hello, I'm late. That's all right. We don't take attendance like Chris says. Thank you very much for being here. Leadership Oh, I'm almost caught up. Leadership Help Desk says, can I add soybean meal 45% protein to my chicken layer, make 17% protein for a total of 31% protein for the grower quail weeks 1 through 8? I, I guess you could. My opinion is until week 8, I would just get a turkey starter that's 25 to 30% protein and be done with it. But you could. But I was never a big fan of adding and supplementing. I just never really had the patience for it. But yeah, if you do and you enjoy that, then yeah, you could do that. Tammy says, I would love to see the pictures of chicks of that color on the website to see while ordering. I hear you. We will. Oh, I gotta get it done. Mary says, do you foresee or have you heard if feed prices will increase this year? I have no doubt that they will. Do I think it's going to be a massive increase? I do not. But I will actually find more information out this week. So I'll have better information for you next week. That's a really good question, but I don't want to speculate until I get better information. Redneck Ranger says you should have people submit their photos for identification. This will help you build a library on the website. We have tried it, didn't go great, but maybe we might be able to try something else again. It's not a bad idea. Thanks for sharing that. I'm actually gonna write that down. If it works out, that'd be awesome. Russell says 61% humidity, okay for lockdown. Can't seem to get it higher. I'd like to see it a little bit higher. You can put a little thing of Tupperware in there and fill it with water, and that will increase it. Or put a wet rag, wet washcloth in there, and that will increase it as well. Any projections on the percentage by the year's end? I do not yet. I don't think I'll have that this week, but I will have a better idea of what it's going to look like. But they're not going to commit to anything. They'll give me information, but they're not going to say this is what they're going to say we're taking it one step at a time. Is what I know they're going to say, but they will give me some better information than that. Alamo Quail Farm's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Good night. How are the Coonies doing? They're doing great. They're growing. Thanks for asking. I'm hoping my gilt is carrying now. Ave had her with my male over 5 months, but he was still under a year. Maybe. Hobby Farm, welcome. Rick says, hey, her belly looks like it's starting to drop a little. Well, that's a good sign. Johnny B. Good says, I ordered my little giant incubator, yes, so save me up 110 jumbos for next week. Absolutely. I will have absolutely no orders. And I'm putting, absolutely no orders when I put them on the website Friday. Fresh start. Really excited about it. Prisky says, never used an incubator, but I have used Brooder. I really liked it. Stood up well to lots of use. Thanks for sharing. That's great. Tim says, what's up, Zach? I just had 15 of my Fab Fees hatch out of the 30 you sent, 50%. Happy with that. That's great. Congratulations. I'll write that down. 15, 25 Fab Fee. That's great. Congratulations. Jess Saban says, is it too late to see the new colors? Just curious. I'm watching to the end anyway. It's really late. I don't think so. I'm tired. And I have to put on my whole biosecurity thing. No, but I promise I'll do it tomorrow. I promise. It's circled, explanation point. It's all kinds of stuff everywhere. I can't miss it. So I will have them ready tomorrow. I'm very sorry. Richard Brown says, I crossed Italian with Pansy female and sold all I could hatch to one lady for 3 hatches. They were pretty birds. Italian with Pansy fee. Yeah, that'll give you more coloring. Absolutely. I'm sorry. And I know that I said I'd do it tonight, and I should have sent myself a reminder. I forgot. But I will do it first thing tomorrow on tomorrow's video, and I'll post that. So even if you can't make it, you could watch the first 2 minutes and I'll show you. Make a short video of it, Zach. Yeah, I'll do that, but I'll do it on the live first, but I'll make short videos. But I am tired. I've been at it for 14, in 17 minutes, I'll be working for 15 hours today. And I don't want to go back to the barn. Don't make me go back to the barn. It's cold and I'm tired. And I did a lot in there today. So I'm sorry, but I will do it tomorrow. I apologize for the delay. That is all of the questions. We hit 247 likes. You guys are awesome. $65 in donations to Quail Con. So thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. Again, if you were not here from the very beginning, I won't fault you on that. But all jumbo hatching eggs will be back on the website April 1st. And it's not an April Fool's joke. I promise they'll be back on there. And then we're getting bees this week on Wednesday, so there's going to be a video on that. I've got a little surprise for you with that as far as my outfit goes. Thank you, Ed. I've got a visitor video coming this week that we're going to be doing Tuesday. I'll probably post that probably Wednesday. I've got a handling with angry customers video I've already done. I need to get approval from the boss before I'm allowed to post it. But there's 2 versions of it, so she's got to pick one of them, right? She's got to. I thought they were fine. And then I'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a rapid fire Q&A, but I will take the first couple of minutes and show you the brand new 2 colors that we're going to be introducing as soon as I get caught up. And I've got a lot of videos in the works. So thank you very much for everybody that hit the like button, everybody that shared, everybody that asked questions, everybody that helped each other, and everybody that just showed up in general. Thank you very, very much. And we will see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a rapid fire Q&A. And until then, everybody, stay safe.